Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. You see the ambiance, you see the environment. It is Studio D3 in Orlando.
The vibes
Talk
are
Crew
immaculate.
is back. Unfortunately, we were unable to go live. You're going to be watching this pre-recorded. Some technical issues, but it's all right. We're still going to hoop talk. We're still going to do our thing. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like, comment, share. Whatever buttons is going to help us grow, hit them and make sure that we grow. All right?
Yes, sir.
Let's get right into it, y'all. We got plenty of topics on the board. We're going to do it how we've been doing it lately. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity. Tyler, what's our first topic of the day, man? What do you want to talk about?
We're going to go a little off the beaten path. We're not going to do something here. We're going to make a joke. Shedeur Sanders, second round, has still not been drafted. Just keep this in mind before we
ladies and
start.
gentlemen, I want to make sure you understand we have not decided to switch our topics to football. All right?
This is just something crazy.
We have
Not
been
at
talking
all.
about Shedeur for a while now. The Giants did not draft him, luckily for us.
Luckily for you guys need W's.
We have two quarterbacks already. But either way, that's for the I don't know what would we call that? The football talk, foot talk.
Foot
I don't know.
talk.
The foot talk, yeah.
Foot talk.
Sounds
It's like those feet finder
OnlyFans
websites.
fetish page.
That's exactly what we're leaning into now.
I'm glad we're pre-recording this so that way I can edit that out.
We're not going to
But
cut
all
that
right.
out.
But let's get into basketball. What's our topic for today?
On to a real topic. I think we should start the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should get the bulk of the conversation out first. Playoffs have started. Everyone knows. Most teams have played, 2 games. Some teams have played 3 so far.
Sir?
Pretty interesting so far. Have you guys seen any of the Knicks versus Pistons games?
Yes, they've been close, very close.
What is it? 3 games already?
Yeah.
I think I'll probably at least watch 2 of them.
How do you feel about it?
I like the Pistons. I mean, I like the Pistons. I'm very happy with what they put together. I've never really been a Detroit supporter. Like, never really was a team that I gravitated towards.
Who
But
is?
they definitely they've sold me this year. I mean, they done some great things over there. Even just winning 1 game, I think, was an accomplishment for them for sure. Do I think they're going to win the series? No, but I like the identity that they're building. I like the environment, the culture that they're surrounding themselves with. I like Holland and Asor Thompson as future, gritty guys for them. I like what Cade's going to become, and I'm excited for Jaden Ivey next year. See what they can do with him.
For me specifically, it's like I mentioned this a while ago. I know you guys hate when I say this before, but I'm going to say it. I said before I feel like they needed to go back to their roots. And they definitely are going to those Detroit roots. Sometimes when a franchise needs to reinvigorate themselves, they need to go back to what made them who they are. And this was before the bad boy Pistons. Like, this is the bad boy Pistons, the Detroit Pistons that won a championship, Rip Hamilton and them. They all had an identity. They were the most physical teams in the league. And I think if they keep doing that and going down that path, it's just going to add just their identity. And once you have an identity in the NBA, it's just now growing from it and adding different folds and being able to, counter something different. Like, okay, we're really physical on defense. Now we can use this to start a break and be a fast break team or to slow the game down. Because you can do anything once you're a great defensive team. But regardless of the fact, I like the image. I like everything that they're doing. I love how Cade's really the calm, cool one, and everybody else is like the crazy chefs trying to get things done last minute.
Cade gets busy, too.
He does. He's a shit
He be
talker.
provoking people.
You don't see it, but he does.
No, he does, but he's also got the backup. He has the people, Paul Reed, Jalen Duran, Isaiah Stewart. Just you keep naming them down the line. And,
They got a ragtag bunch of events.
even
all of them.
You go Schroeder. Schroeder's a troll.
Thompson's a fighter,
Malik
too.
Beasley, Thompson, Hardaway's kind of fed into that. I've never seen Hardaway play basketball like that before. He's shit talking. It's just like they're taking up that city's grind and its grit, that blue collar that city represents. And it kind of reminds me like the vibe that Memphis has with Dylan Brooks, kind of. Not saying that it's the same team. I'm saying the vibe they have. It's very like you got to beat us up to beat us.
Like we're gonna watch them develop soon, similar to what we thought with the Grizzlies, where they're gonna turn into this team that is known for their defensive identity and like go hardness.
I think what you're saying to even add on to it, they're more mature than they are. I think Cade's more mature than Ja. I think they have more mature players.
I agree because the Pistons have a lot more vets. Like even though they got like bum ass like Tobias Harris, they still have Malik Beasley who's been playing great. They still got Tim Hardaway Jr. They got to make some trades though.
Yeah.
Watching these playoffs, I've never seen somebody play worse offensively and stick to the same move as I've seen Asar Thompson. I think the first time watching basketball, he watched Pascal Siakam win with the Raptors, and he saw that spin move he would constantly be doing, and he tries to emulate it. I've never seen it so many turnovers
Yeah.
off of a single move that somebody uses as their go-to.
Yeah.
So often.
Yeah.
He needs offensive identity.
I never really noticed, but it's funny. Now I'm gonna pay attention.
Yeah.
Watch it, please. It's a spin cycle, but like backwards.
Yeah, I don't even think we're talking about the elephant in the room, which is like the calls with like Jalen Brunson and the refs. Little thing they got going on. How do you guys feel about that? This game right now and how it looks like on national TV.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought it's pretty fairly officiated. These
Yeah.
matches, they are playing very physical basketball, and they're not calling a lot.
Specifically, game 2 though, the way it looked when he played. How did you? Because I saw it and it was something I would want to watch from an NBA player.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
It was just I felt like he was like foul baiting to a certain extent. I think he was expecting certain calls that he wasn't getting, and that was the thing on the internet. It was just not bringing it up. He was like trying to get fouled. He got one on a shirt, one dumb one on a shirt where a shirt ran into him just because he completely stopped. They called a blocking foul on a shirt. I'm trying to think of the other ones, but it was a couple fouls that he had. How do you guys like feel about it and stuff like that?
I mean, that's Brunson's game. I fully expect him to go out there and play like James Harden, because it's a skill ultimately.
Yeah.
Like I may hate foul baiting, but like, bro, if you're good at it, I'm not gonna tell you not to do it because you're constantly scoring. That'd be stupid not to use something in your arsenal.
Yeah.
He'd be dumb.
Yeah.
He'd be really dumb.
Yeah, I mean the free throw line was invented for a reason, and players are just smart enough to not take advantage of that. I don't have as much of a problem as I used to. I think when James Harden popularized it the most, I think is when I had a problem with it. I do feel like James Harden's was a whole different level of foul baiting at that point. But over time, watching new players kind of develop that same concept, there's players who don't even shoot free throws well and are still foul baiting because it's a benefit to their team. It stops the clock. It's a possession where you might have not gotten points, but you can get at least one out of it. You know what I mean? And that's statistically speaking, that's good. So Jalen Brunson is definitely a flopper. He's definitely a foul baiter. He's a free throw
Terrorist.
merchant without a shadow of a doubt. But like Tyler said, that is low key a skill, and he's good at it, and he's taking advantage of it. And the Pistons are very physical. They love to reach. They love to jump. They love to bump. They love to do whatever it takes to get that possession to be a failed possession. And Brunson's just taking advantage of it. I don't see a
And
problem with it.
he's hitting some tough shots too. It's not like he's hitting like he hits those shots he foul baits
You guys
on.
watched it in the last game? He hit the last couple 6 points damn near.
Yeah, coach player of the year for a reason.
Jalen Duren is a certified basketball terrorist after that game. I've never seen somebody pass so badly. I've never seen someone handle the ball so badly than those last like 30 seconds of that game. I turned it off.
He scored most of the points though.
Yeah, but he's also. It doesn't matter if you're scoring if you're making the right plays when you're constantly coming back and you're doubling down on your terrible plays.
Yeah.
Like if you make a good play, you taking one step forward and you jumping back 6 steps.
Yeah.
That's
like
crazy that
full
you
on.
say that. Earlier, you had said something about the Grizzlies that made me want to ask if we could segue to the Grizzlies because I think we were going to go.
I'm down. Yeah.
I thought we were going to go in
about
order, but then you said something about the Grizzlies. Like, damn, can we segue to the Grizzlies? And now you said something else about the Grizzlies. Well, you didn't say it about the Grizzlies, but it reminded me about something about the Grizzlies.
Okay.
And now I want to segue to the Grizzlies even
Let's
more.
do it. Let's do it. 'Cause
Listen, let me
that
tell
shit
you.
sucks.
Let me tell you, yesterday was a shit show. I'm sorry.
My shit show was on the first game of the series.
I'm sorry, but
Yes, it was worse.
Listen,
Yes, it was
Memphis
worse.
fans, I get it. I'm with you. You lost y'all early in the game. I think early second quarter, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. I
Big.
get it. I feel you. But you were up by 30. You know what I mean? Like, if your bench unit cannot secure at least a 6-point win after being up by 30, you know what I mean?
Bro, it was like 70-42.
You can blow the lead. That's understandable once you miss your star player. But like to lose the game, it's like your bench unit. They got to be able to pull it together. You're not going to win the series. I never thought you were. I never thought you were going to make it competitive. I thought it was going to be a 5. Worst case scenario for the Thunder, maybe 6. That was the worst case scenario for them. And it's only worst case scenario because that's an extra game they have to play. You know what I mean? That's an extra.
Yeah, no,
That's another tedious game.
It would have had.
We got to show up again.
You don't have to go to Memphis, and nobody wants to do that.
If they would have back-to-back blowout them boys though, like they were when Ja was in there, because they play different at home. Their record at home is actually really, really good. The Grizzlies' record.
This game to me is worse than a blowout loss. I really do believe that.
No, for sure. You lose a game like this.
Worse than a normal blowout loss, not worse than that game one blowout loss.
That game one blowout loss. That shit was over after the first.
They've had two of the worst games I've ever
The
seen.
game one blowout loss is worse than giving up 30-point lead. You lost by 50. That's insane.
I think this
51.
also kind of goes to giving the Thunders credit. They're beating up who they're supposed to be beating up the way they're supposed to be beating them up. It isn't left to 10 points. You still got your stars in the fourth quarter. It's left to, all right, guys, go ahead. Get your playoff minutes in. Go ahead, bench players. Go ahead and do your thing. Like, now you have players that are not just healthy. They're rested, like really rested. So when they actually, it's time to, kind of like Boston was at one point.
Yeah.
Prior to, like, the Eastern Conference Final. They were able to rest their players and let them chill, and then when it was time to play, they let them run. They're playing big minutes. No one was hurt. Porzingis comes back. So I honestly can see the OKC's like trail to it.
And they're already young. They're already really young too.
Yeah. So it's just like and their best players are their youngest players. On top of that,
and their best players, their youngest players are all athletic freaks, bro.
Yeah.
I think all of them are like 6'6" with like a 7.5-foot wingspan.
Bro,
They could slap me from like across the room.
J-Dub's underrated, bro.
Yeah, bro.
J-Dub's an underrated Robin. He's turned up this playoffs a little bit too.
He's not a Robin. He's a Batman. There's a Superman in Shea, and right now he's playing like Batman.
That's funny. That's an interesting way
Yeah,
of putting
I
that.
could say that. I could say he's hooping.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
He's
But
getting-
originally, what I was gonna say though, when I went off the rails there, just talking trash about this. But what you had said earlier about the Pistons is something that I've been petitioning about the Grizzlies for forever, and Tyler knows. They have this need, or not need, but this refusal to incorporate veteran presence in that team. I don't get it. I can't say they're doing it on purpose. I don't know if they are, but like
They are,
They
though.
had those comments a long time ago about, we don't need him, or we don't need veterans. It was a different situation because Iguodala made some comments. He didn't want to be there anymore.
Who was the
That was a
leader?
long
That
time
the
ago.
GM or the owner?
Who's the what?
The leader towards what you're saying.
The
about
players.
The they didn't want veterans.
The players kept saying they didn't want veterans. I don't think a GM ever came out and said that.
Who's
said
the
that?
leader of making the comments?
Yeah. Who said
The
that?
players. I got that from the players.
Yeah.
It was a specific
Wild.
situation though because of Iguodala's comments towards not wanting to be there anymore.
Okay.
He wanted to go back to Golden
Okay,
State.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
This was a long time ago, but this is where it started generating that idea that they're not looking for veterans, but that is what's stopping them from growing. It's what's stopping them. Are the Memphis Grizzlies a championship contender? Maybe not, but they could have been much more of a contender. They could have been in the position that Mavs were once upon a time. They could have been in the position that Trae Young and the Hawks were once upon a time. Maybe making it to a Western Conference Finals once or something like that. They could have been in better positions to grow as an organization if they would have incorporated veterans that could just be the glue guys to make it all make sense for them. Nothing makes sense for the Grizzlies, and that's why they're bad. It doesn't click in their heads because they don't have a person that's been through the ups and downs that can explain to them why this has to be done the way that it's done. Why it's important that you listen to the coach. Why it's important that you do this when you're told to do this and don't do that instead. You know what I
Not
mean?
go out partying or something like actually.
Yeah, like the partying,
practicing.
the Ja situation. If he had veterans and a lot, I promise you, if Ja was on the Warriors, that would never happen. You know what I mean? Draymond Green would slap the shit out of him before the second
That would
incident.
cause another trade.
The first one.
No, I think Ja would listen. I think Ja's the type of person, unlike Jordan Poole, where he would learn. I do think so.
Like the first incident probably couldn't be avoided. Nobody would have known that it was going to happen. That second incident on a real team with real influences would have never happened. But that's in the past. What I'm referring to now is just this is why the Grizzlies just can't get it together. A veteran presence could have helped them keep that lead. They probably would have lost it anyway because Ja was down. They probably would have not won the game by 20. Maybe they would have won. They could have won by 5. Yeah, who knows? They could have. Yeah, you're right. Who knows?
Let's squeeze
Exactly.
the clock
Slow
as
it
much
down.
as we can.
A win's a win,
All
though.
you
It doesn't
gotta
matter how
do is
much.
4 seconds. That means in 1 minute we can take 2 possessions, and now it's another. We're down to 10 minutes, and it's just about teaching these players to slow down. Like Nas is right, but at the same time,
When it comes to that team and who that makeup was, I don't think veterans were allowed to. Not that they weren't allowed. They weren't looking for that because of the style they were playing. They were playing a very up and down style, and they needed those young guys. That's why Scottie Pippen was picked up. That's why all these younger players were picked up. It was not because of their veteran presence. It was more so of their capabilities.
But vets don't have to play.
They don't.
Having veteran presence doesn't mean that they're getting heavy minutes. Having veteran presence is having like Giannis, who just sits on the bench for the longest time with the Heat, creating a culture.
My point is, a lot of times the Grizzlies last year were 3-man deep with an injury. They were just worried the same thing will probably happen this year because you have the same players who are always injured all the time. Ja is always injured. We cannot say he's not injury prone now. He's an injury prone player.
Well, they have vets now.
The way I see it, it's like in your family dynamic. You're more willing to listen to your older brother than you are to listen to your parents.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For
the coaches are the parents, while the veterans are your older brother.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the dynamic that I'm looking at it as. It's like you're going to be more willing to listen to a Steven Adams, which they let go. You're going to be more willing to listen to a, years ago, Andre Iguodala, who they let go. You're going to be more willing to listen
Marcus
to
Smart,
these people.
who they let go.
Marcus Smart, who they let go. You're going to be more willing.
Derrick Rose.
Who they let go.
He retired.
He retired, though. He retired.
But still, he was.
They would have let him go, though. They were going to.
Yeah, but but he was. I thought he was the one who was going to give Ja that MVP rah. But remember when Derrick Rose got there, I think Ja was still coming back from the shoulder injury, or he just got that.
When Derrick got there, that was the season that Ja did the gun stuff.
But also the shoulder just ended its whole season, right?
Yeah, but I also don't think Derrick Rose is the ideal like vet that I'm looking for on a team anyway.
They thought it was.
Yeah. I think he's amazing as a player, but if I'm looking for a vet, I'm looking for people that have maybe deeper playoff runs.
Well,
they've been in the league for longer than Derrick has.
Let's pivot to Marcus Smart then.
Marcus Smart, I'm interested in because he has a play style that fits for the team. He comes from a culture from Boston, a winning culture. Yeah. He has that grit that fits for the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
But it just didn't work.
The organization just values the wrong things.
I think they need to start over. I think they need to go back to their roots and get two really good big men who can play with each other.
I agree.
And a decent point guard who can.
Because here's the issue. Jaren Jackson Jr. is up for a Supermax extension. I love Jaren Jackson Jr. If you sign him to that Supermax while you still have Desmond Bane and you still have Ja Morant, they're not going to win anything.
I'm trading the whole team.
Bro, they're not going to win anything. And the worst part is, you can't have a team with Ja and Jaren Jackson Jr. anyway because their play styles do not match at all.
And on top of that, they're both injury-prone freaks.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to play with
Ja a little less, or Jaren Jackson a little less, but, like, bro, like, you're going to waste $150 million on three people that are not going to win it at all for you.
For 4 years, yeah, like, it's not worth it. That's the thing. Like, when we go back to that GM conversation, it's like relevancy sometimes is with
the killer to these teams.
Yeah.
Making as much as you can off profits.
But a lot of these, I think a lot of these teams don't go into the season thinking they're going to win anything. I don't think the Grizzlies went into the season and said we're going to win the championships.
I think they did. They were the second seed for most of the season. They were trying hard.
Not with that squad. That's not the same team that took them to like where they were going before.
Maybe not
by far.
But us as fans don't see that. But I do believe the organization thinks they have. If things go right for them, they have.
Bro, they were the second seed.
I think any team that is consistently in a top 6 seed believes that they have the ability to do that. They fell off towards the end, so maybe they lost hope.
After they fired their coach.
After they fired their coach, exactly. But I do believe any team that's in the top 6 seed thinks to themselves, there's a way for our path to success. There is a way. You know what I mean? Like, injuries can happen.
I get what you're saying.
Players can have slow playoff performances.
Luka could get traded from the Mavs, and that could happen again.
And then the Mavs can get booted from the playoffs.
Yeah.
But
I would have never thought that.
But speaking of the Grizzlies, and this is the last two things I'll say. One is about the Thunder, but either way, I wanted to get this off before I move on because I'm ecstatic about it. But the first thing I'll say is about Zach Edey. That's another thing. It's like they're valuing the wrong things. They're going into a deep playoff, or they're trying to make a deep playoff push with a rookie starting at center position.
It's
rookie
crazy work.
Who, yes, he's an old rookie. He's been through years of college. I get that, but he is still a rookie. He is a rookie to NBA basketball. You know what I mean? The Lakers have the same type of rookie, right? A phenomenal college talent. One of the greatest college basketball players of that season. Same, 22, 23-year-old guy. Is he getting any minutes? Hell no. We can't put you out there. You're going to make bad decisions. And what did Zach Edey do yesterday? Bad decisions. Close game. You got a tip against Lou Dort. You foul him. A tip. But lady, what am I trying to say?
A jump ball?
A jump ball, right. I'm so dumb. Basketball podcast. What the fuck? A jump ball, and he fucking stiff arms Lou Dort to get it. Bro, you're 7'5".
And Lou Dort is gonna bait it too. Without a doubt he's gonna bait that.
Bad decisions, and that's why players like that they can't play. But that's what I'm saying. The Grizzlies, they value the wrong things. But you know who does value the right things? The Thunder. Who do they value? The Isaiah Hartensteins of the world.
Carusos.
The Alex
Caruso is a dog.
Caruso is a fucking bloodhound.
He's a pitbull, a genuine
He's an
pitbull, bro.
animal.
That's what I wanted to segue
He's an
to.
animal.
That's what I wanted to segue to. Camera, zoom in on me. Look at me, all right? I want you to
Get up to his face.
understand,
Get up to his face.
If Alex Caruso is guarding your favorite player, it's a wrap. All right? It's a wrap. It's over.
Okay.
It's a wrap.
No,
Let me
for
tell
real.
you- Let me tell
For
you
real,
Alex
I
Caruso
believe it.
Yesterday, Alex Caruso somehow, some way got switched onto Jaren Jackson Jr. Of course they think that's a mismatch.
Bro,
No, they
I
won't.
saw the highlights on that. I'm not gonna
All
lie. I didn't watch
he
that
did
game.
was dribble the ball, and Alex Caruso said, "That's mine." As soon as that ball touches the ground, sir, the next thing it's gonna touch is not your hands. It's mine. All right. Ripped him. Boom. They score. Next possession, they get a stop. Alex Caruso wasn't fully involved in the stop, but he goes out. Boom. 2 points. Now we got a comfortable lead. Next possession, you're trying to ISO me. Bad decision. You saw what I did to Jaren. I'm gonna do the same thing to you. What he do? You put the ball on the ground. Sir,
It's in my hand now.
it's not coming back up. You should have never put it on the ground.
What's that dude's name from Hit from Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, he plays like it, bro. He has like a time skip.
Bro, it's insane, bro. Alex Caruso is a dog, a bloodhound. Shout out to Chet. He willed them to that win. He played.
Took over that second half.
Second half.
I'm sorry, Chet. I cannot wait until you get into your NBA body because your young man body is hilarious.
It's a
Running
nickname.
off the court looks like a lady.
It's so lame.
Trying to tell the register person that someone spilled some shit in the aisle. Like he's just running hips.
Do you ever see Barbarian? Okay, the monster Barbarian. That looks like how he runs. Have you seen his nickname though?
Oh, Chet. No.
Yeah, Chet Curry instead of Chef
Really?
Curry. Kind of like that. Kinda like
Man,
that.
I don't know about that one.
You a hater?
Shout out to
No.
him though. Shout out to him. He took off in the second half. He had 1 point in the first half, and he scored every other point in the second half. He had like 24 points in the second half, something like that.
Fire.
Shout out to them. He hit crazy threes. 4 threes in the second half, I think, or in the fourth quarter.
He had
by
2
itself.
blocks too.
Yeah, 4 threes in the fourth quarter. I think he hit more, but at the point that I was watching, he had hit 4. He had blocks. He was, what's his face?
everywhere, bro.
Zach
Once he
Edey.
wins his first championship, I'm putting the timer on for Victor. I've already said it in my head.
When
I don't
Chet
care.
wins his
Very
first
good
championship?
Yeah,
Check out
That's a-
Bless coming to OKC.
Yeah.
that's the next rivalry in the NBA. I swear. I think if Chet might win more championships, but I think Victor might be more decorated. I really do. I could already.
I
see
think it's
it.
going to be an opposite. I think Chet is going to be very similar to Tim Duncan, and then Victor will be like the Kevin Garnett. He wins like 1 championship, 2 maybe.
Yeah.
Defensive Player of the Year more often.
Because
MVP.
that Thunder team, man, if they can keep them boys together for at least 2 or 3 years, they can have a dynasty, man. I'm sorry.
I don't want
I'm
to
a
go into that
believer
rabbit
now.
hole again, but I already told y'all I don't think it's going to work out. But listen, y'all go watch the other podcast episodes. I've said it before. I'm not going to say it again. I'm not going to beat a dead horse.
But the current Thunder, bro. The current
The
Thunder.
current Thunder is phenomenal, man. I don't know. I don't know how much they can do to make it work long term, but they got a lot of explaining to do. But that's enough about that team, though. Funny enough, the Grizzlies were actually the next one. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, we're done with them.
I thought we were moving on. I thought they were in order.
I actually edited it.
Let's talk
Oh,
about
did
our
you really?
team, Nas.
I'm lying.
Let's talk about our team, Nas. Come
Oh,
on.
Lakers, shut the fuck up. You are not. Don't do that. He is not a Lakers fan.
LeBron
Listen,
fan.
I specifically chose to wear my Lakers hat instead of my hoop top hat just because I wanted
I wore my brown shirt because they've been playing like shit last game.
Man.
playoff time.
That's an avocado on it. That's an avocado. That's a smiley,
face.
Goddamn.
Oh my god. But yeah,
Avocado.
Lakers versus Wolves.
What do you have in that cup?
Tied 1-1. What do you guys think? What do you guys views on this series?
I like it. It's
Going how I thought it would go.
I love this first round for that. I mean, this is just in total. The first round of this NBA playoffs has been
Tighter than I've remembered. in
Tighter than a nun at church.
yeah. The only people who are really getting abused like that. What? Okay. The only people really getting abused like that are the Grizzlies.
But
And
game 1, every game was a double-digit win.
was a blowout.
It was.
Except the Clippers.
But the second game, the other team wins. A lot of these series are 1-1, 2-1. There's not a lot of. Is anybody?
Oh, you're
below?
talking about the record. The record's tight. I get it.
The games are back and forth. It's not like someone's just getting beat up.
Well,
every
one
game.
team is 3-0.
Oh, I mean, it's the team. That's the best team in the NBA right now. Right?
Unfortunately, one team.
But
is,
regardless of the fact, I don't really want to get. I'm done with the Thunder. More so on the Lakers though. I think this game 3 tonight, the one that I'm excited to go home and watch. I think this game 3 is pivotal. I think every game 3 is pivotal. The home team usually wins. Whoever wins game 3 usually wins the series. So I think we're gonna have a really big scoring game from LeBron tonight. I think this is gonna be one of those Bron games that we need to get to the next round. You know, us Lakers fans. That's about it.
I'm a Lakers. Luka plays ridiculously good on the road. He is one of the highest playoff performers on the road. So I'm super excited for this.
Considering he has played ridiculous up to this point, I can't imagine what could be more ridiculous than that.
You see what Luka could do, bro? You see what Luka could
He's
do.
averaging a 30-point triple double right now.
That's low for him. I'm not even joking.
Nah,
Look at him last
absolutely.
season against the Timberwolves. He averaged 36, 11, 11.
Yeah,
He's going to do that again.
they're really.
What's that?
You know, I was watching a stat. LeBron and Luka, with LeBron getting on that team, with Luka getting on that team, they average the longest pass in a game that leads to assists in the league, the whole league. So you know how LeBron gets those pin downs when he gets a smaller man, and Luka's bringing it up the court. He throws it 6. They have the most by any team. This year.
That makes sense. Because I
That's
think the
crazy
next,
stat. That's
the
a
one
crazy
before
stat.
that was Lonzo.
Yeah,
and then
also
Kevin
him
Love.
used to kind of do it a little bit
Yeah.
too. But you got to be a smart player to notice that pin down and when where LeBron wants the ball. But I think that's a crazy stat, and I'm pretty sure they get 4 or 6 points off of that, which is a lot off a non-play. Like
It sounds like it's not a lot, but it actually is.
Six
It's
fast
like
break
6
points?
free points a game. Fast
Yeah.
break points are. So that's what the Timberwolves have been trying to do. They've been trying to limit transition, because they said that's what slows down LeBron the most. That's what tires him out in the half court. That has not worked at all, bro.
Nah,
it
you're
has
telling the
not
old
worked.
man to chill for a little bit. He can take a possession off, come right back to the next
You
possession.
got LeBron playing defense now, and he's still averaging, I think, 21, 8, and 8. Like he's doing great for what he needs to do.
And he's not even having those games where it's like, yeah, LeBron was playing this game. Like we haven't had that. Like,
Yeah, I don't
LeBron
think-
dropped 40 yet. Like not yet.
I don't think LeBron's gonna have a series like that anymore. I personally don't think so. I think he'll have games.
No,
You
it's a game. It's a game.
You think he will?
No, I agree with you.
Oh
Yeah, I agree. I agree as well.
Yeah, I
he's
don't
too old.
think he'll have a whole series like that anymore. But I think he'll have games or two
That's all they
within the
need.
series. Yeah, I agree. That's all we need.
Max 3 or 4.
I think right now Reeves has to step it up. He has to give us better games to
Yeah.
start. He's having phenomenal fourth quarters. He's having terrible first 3 quarters, and we need those 3 quarters so this fourth quarter can be.
And he's a
easy.
clutch player. Like if you've watched the Lakers play over the years, Reeve is like one of their clutchest players. Like he usually does turn up when it matters.
Yeah,
So.
I'm worried, though.
He knows how to wake up, but he has to. He
Just be in the beginning of
He
the game,
typically
yeah.
isn't that inconsistent. He typically has been a very good playoff performer. You know what I mean? Last season he only played 1 series, so he didn't really have a chance to kind of wake up.
But the year before that, he only had 1 good series where he was good throughout. He played similar to this.
But he didn't have a terrible playoffs though. He had a pretty good for Reeves standards. He had a good playoffs, and he hadn't reached that level of
Yeah.
Reeves that he is now.
I'm talking about in the first 3 quarters, he played questionable in the fourth.
So I'm saying he hadn't reached that level of.
Oh, I
Reeves
got you, I got you.
Like last year against the Nuggets, he had a good series.
Yeah.
This year is the year where he's finally gotten into that third option role where it's like. I'm not
the
a
third
third
option,
option.
though?
That's not really a third option. Of course.
Yeah, he's definitely their second. I mean, go ahead. I'll
he's
tell you my
obviously their
theory.
third option.
No,
They
no,
have
for
LeBron James.
sure. But my theory behind that is, for them to win, I think he needs to be their second best player.
No, he has to be the third best player because LeBron's always going to be LeBron. You know what I mean? He's going to put up the numbers that he puts up. And LeBron just does more than him overall. But either way, Reeves just has to wake up earlier. He
Yeah.
has to wake up earlier. That's all I think. The other guys, we don't have anybody that's that level of player. Reeves, you are it. After Luka and LeBron, you are it. Rui can give us 15 and
Got to
20
put
every
on a
once in a
good
while.
game.
But that's where it's gonna stop. You know what I mean? Like DFS isn't gonna give us that performance. Gabe Vincent's not gonna give us that performance.
Jackson
And
Hayes
that's
is not
okay.
gonna help you rebound.
That's okay because that's not what they're here for. As long as they do what they're here for, that's okay. But
Yeah.
if you don't do what you're here for, what they're here for is not enough. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? You have to be you for them to be them, or else now you're forcing our role players to have to take more
Yeah.
shots or make more shots. But that's not what you're here for. The system's not designed for that. So you're failing us in that sense. You have
Yeah.
to pick it up. So DFS doesn't have to take 7 shots.
Yeah.
Just give them 4 or 5, and that's all we need from them. You know what I mean?
I think with what you're saying, it got me to think. Like, I think LeBron's become really mutable. And what I mean by that term is that like he's kind of like become like a Draymond in a
Motherfucker
way.
old.
No, just like he's become a Draymond, like where he's not I don't view LeBron as an option anymore. Now that I look at that team a little bit more and I'm watching them play
We're
more.
about to hear a crazy take.
Yeah, I don't view him as an option. I more view him as a player that like.
An entity.
Yeah, in a sense, but I know that sounds crazy to say, but like in a sense of like
He's
I
an
think-
enigma.
and I hate to say it because James Harden say it, like a lot of the time it runs through him, but he's not really like he's not a shoot. He's never been a shoot first guy. So when you think about it, I do think Austin Reeves does have to step up a little bit more. And when we're talking about step up, we just want him to play better throughout.
He's more willing to play a role.
Yeah,
That's what I'll say about LeBron. He is
Yeah.
far more willing to play a
Way,
role now,
way more.
where he is a lot more comfortable. Where every
He's killing
possession,
it.
the ball doesn't have to start with me.
Exactly.
Luka and Austin, you guys.
I think
are
it's only
actually
for
really
now,
good.
though. I don't
Huh?
think that's going to be that as they get deeper in the playoffs. I think he's trying to save his energy.
Yeah,
No,
I think
for sure.
as they get deeper in the playoffs, he will pick it up.
Probably semifinals and then the actual finals.
My thing to all this, and I guess what I'm saying is, I think the only inconsistency that comes with Austin Reeves is his usage. I think they need to get him the ball more. I think, in a sense of like, not forcing the action, but imagine LeBron's hurt. Let's put LeBron in the corner for a little bit in the beginning of the game. Let's get like a Luka and Austin Reeves Tatum going, just until we can see what happens, and then bring LeBron out later on. I think that's a way to spark him up. We know he's going to produce in the fourth quarter. Some players are just have that gift, and we know that Austin Reeves has that gift. So it's just a matter of like usage. I think they need to up his usage in the beginning of the game, force feed the hand, just give a lot of Austin Reeves looks, and I think his production throughout the game, it would wake him up quicker. I think he's one of those players that needs the ball a little bit quicker than later on. But you got two ball dominant guys. It's kind of hard to take away from either or without losing some production from them. So
especially with the defensive options the Timberwolves have, who is consistently guarding Luka. It doesn't really work. Jaden McDaniels is too small to guard him, so you're going to constantly be going to Luka to score. But Austin Reeves does. I think he has a pretty high usage rate for the first three quarters.
Yeah, he does.
I think it's actually less in the fourth quarter, and I think that's why he's more efficient.
You think so?
Yeah, I do think so. I think they're playing more off of LeBron and Luka, and he's more that auxiliary piece, and I think that's why it works so well for him. When he's the primary offensive option, and the other two are on the court, it's not giving him the same type of spacing when he's playing off.
It's also because he's not the same kind of player they are. He doesn't have the same passing angles that he can make.
He has the ability to pass, but he's not like a great playmaker.
Yeah, and I think that's what elevates them being the guys who control the come in the tempo.
If they were off the court, though, I do think that you might see him benefit a little
The Lakers
bit
are
more.
faster without LeBron, and I hate to say that out loud. I love LeBron, but
I
when
don't
LeBron's
think so.
not nah, I've seen it. I've watched it. They're a really fast team
I
without
don't
LeBron.
think so at all.
You don't think so?
No.
He unlocks their transition offense, I think.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
I mean, you could
Wolves are trying to stop it.
you could probably look at the stats. He probably has the most transition points on the team.
For sure.
And I mean, shit, that's a fast break right there.
No, I'm saying more for us that it speeds Austin Reeves' game up a little bit more. But maybe because I didn't watch the videos where LeBron, Austin Reeves like in the front, he's throwing it back towards LeBron. So that's my thing. I think it's
That's
more
what we're
so-
talking about. LeBron plays amazing in the fast break, so he's already down the court immediately.
No,
He's
Austin.
fast.
If you watch I could be highlight poaching, you could say, and I'm watching highlights, and it's always Austin Reeves in front of LeBron. Or if I'm watching the game and I'm actually watching, I've seen Austin.
Yeah, they
Reeves.
like that play. They like that lob. They like that.
Okay.
LeBron's been playing small ball five
Yeah,
a lot more.
He's killing that shit too, bro.
They like that play. They like the draw in the defender and then pitch it back and then make it an easy layup. They like that play pretty often. They just had it last game where Austin Reeves tried to throw it to 2009 LeBron.
2018 LeBron.
Yeah, he tried to do. I was
Just
like,
trying to take
that's
LeBron
not the
out.
LeBron.
That's LeBron's
That's not the
back out.
LeBron you think it is.
He hasn't jumped that high in 10
It's
years.
the wrong year,
He
man.
really complains about that shit. To be honest, he's like, "Yo, like, come on, man."
He looked pissed the first time. He's like, "What are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
He said it set him back like
This is
3
not
days.
2009 anymore. I'm not on the Cavs."
Bro, he said it set him back like 3 days. I was like, "Damn, what the fuck?"
But ultimately, though, I didn't think the Grizzlies would beat us in LA, so I think this does go to 7 games. I did not think they were going to beat us in LA. I thought we would start the series 2-0.
You mean the Wolves? I'm sorry.
What did I say?
You said Grizzlies.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, the Wolves.
Really though? Because
Yeah.
Luka and LeBron always lose game one, consistently.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't see it that way. I had no real thought process behind it. I just didn't see it that way. But yeah, I think it goes to Game 7. I think I had the Lakers in 5 or 6 originally, but we'll see though. I think it is up to Austin Reeves. I think LeBron is doing what he can do, or where he's. I'm not trying to make LeBron sound like he's not good anymore either. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, he's a different person in his career now. But
He's 40.
It would be nice if Reeves can give us 10 points in the first half. You know what I mean? You give us 10 points in the first half and then produce how you have been in the second half. You're gonna go out there with 20, 25-point games. You know what I mean?
30-point games.
That's what we need from you. You know what I mean? I don't personally want 30-point games from him. I think 20 points, 22 points consistently is good, but he's going out there scoring 16, 18. I think he's just coming a little bit shorter than he should have. But either way, I still got the Lakers. We could lose tonight. I don't care. I still got the Lakers.
I saw him in 6.
I still genuinely believe we win the series.
I'm a game by game guy. This is an important game, so I'll get back to you guys.
You can't do that. You got to make a bet.
I got the Lakers winning. It don't matter what happened tonight.
Man. Shit. That's playing parlays. This is a really big deal because even though it's 50-50, it's not really 50-50. But I'm gonna go with LeBron. We'll go with the Lakers.
It's impossible to be 50-50 because it's 7 games. So like one team has the advantage. It is called the home
One
court
team
advantage.
has 51, the other team has 49.
Okay.
The next team we got the Heat and the Cavs. I personally don't got much to say.
Hey, I'm going to say something, though. Tyler Hero, bro. Tyler Hero is performing just as well as he had been. He's actually playing very, very well.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Wiggins and everybody else, Duncan, everybody else that they've added kind of sucks. And even Bam has been kind of weak at times. Bam has also been playing pretty well, but
Tyler Hero can't guard his shadow.
no, Tyler Hero was guarding Darius Garland amazing.
You think so?
Darius Garland went 2 for 9 on him the other day.
Pick on Tyler Hero.
They don't think so.
Yeah.
But
They don't view it that way.
it's crazy that he said that, and then right after that, you see his stats, and like, bro, what do you mean? Tyler Hero was cooking you, and he was guarding you perfectly. I don't know, man.
I don't think they see it. I don't know what it is they see.
They're
To be
seeing
honest,
something that we're not seeing.
I'm not even watching.
It's
the
just a
games.
depleted team.
But yeah, they clearly in the film room they don't see it.
Yeah.
Maybe they. I gotta look at the games. I gotta look at the games for real. I don't care about the Heat. They're a team that just doesn't fascinate me like they used to. You know what I mean? No playoff Jimmy is like, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But either way, I think what could be happening, and this is just me assuming, is when Tyler Hero is guarding the primary ball handler, it does result in something good for the team. I think
That's
that
what I
might
think
be
is
how they
happening.
review it. Maybe Garland individually is not cooking him, but Garland
And he's
being
not
able
helping
to
off
take
of
him off the
yeah.
dribble is what's allowing them to open an opportunity.
Yep.
That's what I'm assuming is happening. But again, that's just
The Cavs are going to go in this and win anyway. Without Jimmy,
Yeah.
I don't think the
yeah,
Heat
no
ever
one
stood a
expected it.
chance.
I didn't even think the Heat really were gonna. I thought Chicago was gonna beat them. Need to go back there.
No, because Tyler Hero went in the
And
playing
handled
game
business.
and didn't miss a single point,
Handled
a single
business.
shot, not
I
one.
thought the Hawks were going to be in this position.
That would even
that's
better.
what I
Yeah,
thought
that
was
too.
gonna
But the
happen.
injuries on their team kind of depleted.
Oh, I told
them.
you guys at the beginning of the season, once they picked up Richardson, I didn't think they were ever going to actually make the playoffs.
They,
I think when we voted, I
Almost
put them
did.
out.
yeah, they almost did.
But did they? This is not horseshoes. This is not horseshoes. There's no almost.
Yeah, that's true. And the injuries this year have been crazy to that team. Though that team's been one of those teams that just had that unlucky.
And then they also use their first round pick when they have a a borderline superstar's talent that they could have traded something and got something better for. But they didn't. The Hawks suck. They're a poverty franchise.
Oh my God! I just restarted them on 2K. Don't do that.
Well, what about the Warriors and the Rockets? How do you guys feel about that?
That's a good series.
There's
I like
two
that.
series that I think are my favorite: the Knicks and Pistons, and this one.
And guess what? Those two series have in common.
A lot of fighting, and also twins, a Thor and a man.
Yeah, and both of them are being very obnoxious.
Yep.
Both of them are doing their thing. I never thought that they were that type of player. Both of them are literally the same kind of player, but
No, they are like aggressive, bro. They
Yeah,
are
like,
like
they
they're
play in
gonna
the
be in your
hood,
face.
bro.
If they don't back down either, they will fight people. Bro, Ahmed was throwing people the other day.
I think he actually knows a fighting style, though. I think one of them actually knows a fighting
It's
style.
Ahmed.
Which
He's
one's the
throwing
one-
people.
Which one's the one that went viral for tossing people around?
Amen.
Man,
right?
the one on the Rockets,
Who
yeah.
was it? What was the last
Tyler
person?
Hero.
Tyler Hero, he
Tyler
threw
Hero.
him.
What's the
That
game
was
plan?
crazy.
Pick on Tyler
He
Hero.
tossed Tyler Hero across the court.
That's the name of this podcast. Pick on Tyler Hero.
That man was saying amen afterwards. He was begging for it, begging for God.
Oh, God. I remember, yeah, he tossed him around. Then they showed highlights of him doing it to other players. Like, damn, he's been doing this whole time.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's doing the playoffs. He did it to the Warriors.
Bro, I'm not
He
gonna
did it
lie.
to Steph.
I've never seen Draymond like just not go after someone. Like he's not literally going after someone. I think he genuinely, not that he's intimidated, but he respects their physicality.
Bro, Draymond is a madman.
He is.
He's going crazy this series, bro. He's trying to kill someone. He's
You
trying
think
to
so?
murder someone.
He clotheslined
but the
someone
thing
last
is,
game.
like,
Huh?
He clotheslined someone last game.
Yeah, he's going crazy.
Jalen
bro.
Green hit him with the elbow, the people's elbow.
Bro, Jalen Green,
He's gonna break his neck this game. I guarantee it.
he sees so much red. His own teammates have red because he ended Jimmy Butler's playoffs.
My favorite.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's the Rockets and they're red and he's a bull. I get it now. I get it. That's why he always goes crazy against the Rockets.
What's crazy is there was a situation where Steph and Jalen ended up on the ground, and that's how I know Steph is going to start tweaking pretty soon. Steph tells Jalen Green, "Stay humble."
Oh, because Steph could kill this team. This team doesn't have the defensiveness other than no, never mind. I'm lying. I'm not gonna say what I'm saying. They got a defensive core.
Who?
They got Ahmed, they got Fred VanVleet,
Oh,
they got
Rockets?
Ken Whitmore, they got Tari Eason. Never
Eason's
mind.
balling.
Yeah,
I
Dylan
don't know
Brooks.
what
Never
that was
mind.
All they got is menace.
Never mind.
All
All
they
they
got is
have is
medicine.
defense.
I think that's the bulk of their success. It's blocking up.
What's crazy is, you know what that team matches up perfectly with,
OKC.
and who else? The Celtics, because they're so
You
strong.
say that about every team you like.
Yeah.
No.
Every team you like.
Any team that has
matches up.
Jalen Green
Hold on.
is not going to match
Real
up well.
quick, I'm the only one who picked the Rockets to make the playoffs. I'm also the only one.
No,
who
you're
had the
not. I had the Rockets making the playoffs.
You did?
On my list.
Okay, I had them this high.
I don't even think you put them on there.
Yeah, I did. I put the Rockets on there. Yeah, I
I'm
did.
going to check it
Well,
later.
that's
I've been a
Let's
big
not
Rocket
pass this.
believer
Don't do this
since
on
the
the side.
beginning of the year.
But
Jalen Green, 38 points. 38.
He has unfortunately been a Jalen Green singer, and
My 2K
for
players
90% of the season, 99.9% of the season, he's been wrong.
rocking. We win this series, I'm getting
He
a
did get a
jersey.
game in, so we will give him credit.
38 points. His second
Yeah.
playoff game ever. These guys were hanging him.
He's going to get 14
this
this
is what
game.
doesn't make sense to me, y'all.
Hanging him.
For y'all watching, all right. Listen, I'm a Jalen Green hater. He's a Jalen Green lover. Pause.
And I'm a
Right?
Jalen Green
Whoa.
truther. I tell the truth.
But here's my thing that doesn't make sense to me, and he's not willing to acknowledge this part of the conversation. My thing is, after game one, well, I'm sorry. Let me start from the front. After game two,
Whoa, boy, calm down.
listen, we're trying to talk basketball here, right?
Sorry.
After game two, I'm supposed to change my mind, right? Because he had a great game. But
Amazing
after
game.
game one, he doesn't change his mind about Jalen Green.
Nope.
That's not fair. Because
don't
how do
change
you
my
expect me to have a different opinion after he has one good game when
Okay.
he had one terrible game and you were not willing to change
If
your
you could
opinion?
give the whole Oklahoma City team grace last year for just making it to the playoffs and losing, whatever. If you guys could give them grace.
That wasn't their first playoffs.
They lost in this.
No, I'm saying last year we were still giving them
Second
grace for being young, right? That was we all.
I
gave their
didn't
younger
give them
team.
no grace. They
You
just
gave them
lost.
But
They,
you
they
gave
were
them grace in the
supposed to
sense
lose.
of saying like they're young, they're not supposed to even be there. We said all that. Why can't we say the same team about a Rockets team that no one expected nothing from this
We
year?
are saying about the Rockets team. We're not saying about Jalen
No,
Green.
okay, even Jalen Green, no one he played good most of the season this year.
no,
not
no,
all
no,
of the
no.
season.
That's
He
not
did
true.
not.
That's
He
not
played
true.
pretty
He
bad
did
for
the
a
same
lot
thing
of
he
it.
always does. Half the season he's good, half the season he's bad.
I don't think you understand how bad he played the first game, bro.
No, I watched it live. It was
He
horrible.
had 7 points.
Yeah, he did. He did. And then the second
Kyle
game,
Kuzma played
he
better
had
than him.
Kyle Kuzma statistically, which is a crazy thing to say.
38 points, and he's dropping another 30 ball when they go back to the Warriors.
I'm gonna make a bet. he
Tom
doesn't
Cruise
drop
is
more-
funny because Tom Cruise is an actor.
I'm going to make a bet for you. He doesn't drop more than 15. I'm going to make that bet. Next game,
I'll
less than
take that.
15.
Oh
All
my
right.
god.
We're making a bet. Jalen Green scores less than 15 next game.
No Jimmy Butler taking it.
I'm willing to make that bet. Watch his adjustment.
Well, that is
You're going to have Steph Curry on Jalen Green.
that is something.
I'm definitely getting. What are we winning? A TikTok dance?
Yeah, we're gonna do a TikTok dance. We're gonna do an old one. We're gonna go back
You're
and
gonna
do.
be doing a
We're gonna go
TikTok
back and do
dance.
Savage.
You're gonna be
that
doing a
is-
TikTok
That is
dance.
something. All right, well, we got the Bucks versus the Pacers now. No, you guys, good luck with that.
This game, bro, is. This is the most boring series outside
Yeah,
the Heat and
and then
the
I was
Cavs.
also-
going to petition that we just move to the next team.
Actually,
I
one thing
don't
I do
mind
want to
that.
say is the Pacers do have TJ McConnell.
All I'm gonna say is
You're
the
pretty
only.
consistent about TJ McConnell. Let me tell
I
you.
don't like when the lights.
Shout out one of my White Kings.
I hate when light skins go at it. I need TJ and Damian Lillard to get together and powwow. But I think that's the really only beef about this. That's the only thing that made me.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Oh,
You call
Dame?
TJ light skin?
Tyrese?
Yeah. No, I
Wait,
called
what happened? I'm
Tyrese.
confused.
No, Tyrese. I meant to
Oh,
say
you
Tyrese.
said. I was like,
Yeah, I
wait.
said I don't like when I said TJ. You put that in my head. Nah, my bad. Tyrese Halliburton and the Dame beef.
He's
I
like
think it's
really light
the
skinned.
most great value beef I've ever seen. Like Tyrese beefing with Dame, I don't like it. It's not good for basketball. Just stop it.
It's manufactured. Dude.
Yeah,
It's not
it's
real
just
beef.
not. It doesn't look good.
Because Dame is not like a controversial person
He's
other than
not.
Westbrook and Paul George. Like I've never seen him hate anybody.
Yeah, and then on top of that, like Hallie's like one of those guys that laughs at people when they get mad at him.
And Patrick Beverly, yeah, Tyrese is cute, bro. Like
Yeah,
he's like a pinch his cheek.
Cute. It's crazy.
This podcast took a turn.
He said, "Let me start from the front."
But he's like a cute little guy, bro. It's like his voice cracks half the time he talks to me. He's like still going through puberty.
Jarvis, clip that, please. Jarvis.
He'll go through puberty while he's talking to me.
No, but I agree though. It does seem manufactured. It is a soft beef to have.
It's an ugly game.
Tyrese isn't like that. Dame has the roots to be like that, but he doesn't have the demeanor to be like that.
He doesn't have the right villain right
now.
now.
He's too nonchalant.
He's a diplomat.
Yeah. He needs like someone to go at him until the point where he has to now fight back, and that's what Russell did. Russell was picking on him and picking on him and picking on him until Dame was like, you know what? I'm tired of this.
We're not gonna take this anymore. We're going back to Oakland. Let me show you my roots.
He does do that a lot. He does reference Oakland a lot.
Well, what about Celtics versus Magic? What do you guys think about that series?
I hate all Orlando teams, all Florida teams in A
I
sports,
think-
so I like watching them lose to a Tatumless Celtics in one game, which is
Well, he's playing now, so
they only had one chance to win, and
they're losing right now.
Paolo's
The Celtics
playing
are
his
losing.
ass off though.
He is. Paolo is having a really good series, and Franz looks like he belongs. I think that's going to be a really good dynamic duo moving forward. I think they really are missing a point guard though. Between Corey
They're missing a
Joseph,
lot, bro.
between what's his face's son, what's his
Cole
name?
Anthony, Greg
Yeah,
Anthony.
Cole
Do
Anthony.
you think Jalen Suggs and Mo Wagner make a difference for them in this series? I mean,
Not enough around them. I think the Celtics are just better than them at the spots where they're not good at, like veteran presence or having a Porzingis. I think Porzingis is better than all their big men, and I also think Derek White and Drew Holiday are the best guards in the series
Magic
as well
lack
too.
of shooting also. They don't have a
Yeah.
Magic need a lot of upgrades actually.
you could argue the Celtics are better at every position.
They are.
You could argue that.
Yeah.
Jalen Green has had an up and down season, so it's possible that France has an argument here.
Jalen Brown,
But what did I say?
Green.
Golly, what's wrong
It's
with you
okay.
today?
It happened. That's
Oh
at
my
TJ.
God.
So it's all
Is
good.
this really a basketball podcast? I'm not sure. I'm not entirely
Fucking
sure.
basketball podcast.
But,
That's how you need to
This is
start.
a Word with Friends podcast. We just play Wordle together.
That's gotta be our new intro. A fucking basketball podcast.
But
That would actually be pretty
I could have somebody make us something for real. That could be our what is that called? Producer tag. That could be producer tag. That could be our
This is a
producer.
fucking basketball podcast.
But
man,
yeah, you-
rules before the podcast is a must go moving forward.
you could argue the Celtics definitely have the best at every position,
including bench.
They also have the best bench player as well. So it's even with Jalen Suggs,
think
they
when-
still have the best.
Yeah.
They have Derek White is better.
And I think Drew Holiday is better.
Drew
than him,
Holiday
too.
is better
Yeah.
than-
even healthy Magic squad. I don't think they
I
match
think Luke
up.
Cornett might be better than Goga.
He might. I mean,
That's crazy.
I think the only thing
It's, I
with
don't know. It's possible.
Franz and Paulo is the dynamic of their playing capabilities matches up with them, but it doesn't surpass Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
And it's because they're not great at creating shots.
Yeah,
They're great
for
at
other
scoring.
players.
No, even for themselves, actually shooting, like specifically shooting, is where you see the weakness. You
Yeah.
can't constantly drive into a fully
Game
compacted
2, they were
like
doing that
paint.
like crazy,
Yeah.
man. They were just attacking the rim.
And
like crazy.
you can't just keep doing that. They sit in the paint because they know that
At
you
that
cannot
point,
shoot.
yeah.
You don't. Anthony Black comes in and he's not a great shooter. Cole Anthony's not a great shooter.
Good
Like, they
defender
just-
though. Great defender. Anthony Black is going to be
Yeah,
a really
but
good player. Rookie
he's
as
also
well.
a terrible. Is he?
No,
I
no.
thought he's
Second
or
year,
third
second year.
and he
You're right.
still has not improved any at all in his offensive capabilities, on his decision making.
He's just going to be one of those players that's just. He's has to develop a 3-point shot. He's just going to be a 3 and D2
But that's the
guard.
issue. That whole team needs to develop a 3-point shot.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're
Harlow's their best shooter, arguably.
and that's really bad.
Yeah, it's not
That's,
good.
like,
No.
really
Now that I've watched it,
Yeah.
yeah, and also like KCP, that contract, that contract might have been a bad contract.
It's not KCP's fault. They don't have a playmaker.
Yeah.
You like if you have nobody
When you-
creating for
especially when you're a
others, what do
3
you
and D
do?
guy. You're a 3 and D guy. You're kind of like tore up.
He's not
fucked up.
creating shots for himself. He's taking shots from other people. He's being fed.
Right now is 86-80.
I should have took that
Celtics.
bet. I should have took
No.
that bet. You've been TikTok dancing
I'll take
today.
it right now.
Nah.
I guarantee you the Celtics are gonna win that. I'll take that right now. I'll double down.
Nah. Well,
Listen, if you scared, go to church.
all the way to church, sir.
Yeah.
The Yankees are up in the bottom of the
But-
first, though. Shout out to the
One thing I will say, I'm very worried for the Magic. Their GM has not made the best moves in advancing that team to the place where they need to be. This team has needed a point guard since DJ Augustine,
You're right.
and they have never gotten one.
Even before that, I think. Even before that.
Since Vucevic, they've never really had a good, consistent center because Wendell Carter, I don't think is a starting center for you if you're looking for playoff aspirations going
Too
further.
small.
I just don't know. And their shooting outside of KCP is abysmal, and he was also bad this season. So what
It's a
did
down year
they
for
do
him.
with this team? They just drafted well. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the KCP thing is not to be expected though, so I don't know if that's fair to hold it against them.
Exactly.
I think they were gonna get. I think they thought they were gonna get better guard play this year. I really thought. I think
Why?
they thought that. Just coming. I think that they thought
What
that.
gave them that thought?
Just thinking that Anthony Black would come
Drugs.
into his fruition. Jalen Slug would be playing better basketball because he was playing good basketball towards the beginning of the year. He was arguably that was the best defensive team in the NBA.
Jalen
Still a
Suggs.
terrible playmaker though.
Jalen Suggs could make a difference for them, yeah, but
But
I
they were-
don't think he's the guy for them.
I think he's a good two guard for them, though. I think he's a good off ball player. I think he's a good cutter. I think he's a good shooter. I think it's like you said. I think they should go get a Trae Young. I think they should go get someone who could pass the ball. I was even thinking Fred VanVleet is available this offseason. You're saying
You
that
think way too highly of him, man.
he's won a championship, man.
I wouldn't go for Fred VanVleet, but I like him. I wouldn't
Off
go
the
for
bench, not as a starting point guard. I don't think.
I mean,
him. Yeah, I don't think so either.
Who's else is available this offseason?
That team needs a playmaker, and Fred is not a playmaker. You need that team. You can't keep doing this like same song and dance. They need a playmaker. They have needed a playmaker for so
but
long.
who's available though?
There's a ton of point guards that are going to be available. Trae Young, Ja might be available.
Ja's not a playmaker.
I do think Ja is a better playmaker than anybody that they'd be able to realistically get.
Better
outside
than
of Trae
Fred
Young.
though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Without.
I
Fred's a
think
scorer.
I think personally for now they should prioritize improving their center position first,
That too.
That's
and
Clint
working
Capella's
their
signing.
way up. I don't know if they can do both in one offseason, drastically enough to be a better team. But I do believe if they can develop Franz and Paolo to have a very similar dynamic to Jalen and Tatum, they can survive a little longer with Suggs.
That's
so
why
I think a center makes more sense. Which, if you think about it, the Celtics did attempt to go for that point guard upgrade, numerous times, and it never really worked out. But when they did that center upgrade, is when things got a little better for them, right?
Wait,
So when
Who was their center?
when they
Porzingis
got
came
Al
in?
Horford into the
Al Horford
situation,
before.
once they got Al Horford into the situation, things started making a lot more sense. And Kyrie didn't work out, Kemba didn't work out, all these other projects didn't work out, but Al Horford did. Now
They
you
need
look
a-
at Al Horford getting too old, you bring Porzingis into the situation, boom, it gets even better. So I think they should try to focus on the center position
I
first.
think I'll go Dulic is back, bro. I think he's actually the perfect center for them.
These are the two craziest things I heard. First, Clint Capella, and then
Well, no, I didn't say Clint Capella out loud.
If he heard you, you said it out loud. He didn't just read your mind.
Nah, but
He didn't just read your mind.
nah, I just think
that's one injury-prone star, and then the other one that just doesn't play defense and is not that great offensively anymore. Old. Vucevic is just old.
But I mean, what's
Offensively, he's still good. Is that what you said? Or
He's good
defensive?
because he's the number one option.
Yeah,
I
true,
don't think
true.
coming to the Magic he's going to be playing like he is now.
he's
definitely.
their shooter though. He's the guy who can space the floor.
You don't
He's not
think
a floor spacer.
You don't think he could be Brook Lopez for them?
Yeah, that's
No.
what I'm
You don't think he can make
Vuce-
that difference?
Vucevic is not a floor spacer. Even on the Magic, he was not a floor. He's a mid-range shooter. He's not a three-point.
Well,
I
Isn't
agree. You don't
Brook
gotta yell at
Lopez
me.
a free
I
agent?
agree.
This next year comes.
You
What'd you
trying to
say?
get them some old ass like decrepit centers, bro. He wants Brook Lopez.
Hey, listen, we know
Earlier
Mark.
he said Hakeem.
I did not say. I didn't say Clint Capella. I don't think Clint Capella would be a bad pickup. I just don't think he plays enough because Okongwu is coming into his own, and that is the future. And
No,
when you
he's super injured lately. He's really
Yeah.
bad.
hopefully, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think
do need a
Okongwu's
center.
the future. I think he's a placeholder until
Oh,
they
he's
figure
a
it out.
pretty decent center for
Just
them.
undersized.
That's all it is. That's really all it is.
That's
Small
all
arms,
that matters. The league is getting bigger. It's not getting small. That small ball stuff is behind.
He's
think so?
shorter
At
than
the
most
pass.
small forwards at this point. He's shorter than Franz.
Small ball is not a thing anymore, bro. It's slowly and surely getting away. They're getting away from that.
Only
Yeah, that
one team
takes
has
that-
small ball.
And
it's
the
OKC.
teams that do have relatively small forwards
The
at
Lakers
best
are a small
play
ball
big,
team.
but that's not on purpose. We just kind of suck at making those moves.
They also have an issue.
We have
been
been
able to
begging
get
for
good center.
centers for years, so
Golden
we don't
State's
want
also
to be
a
small ball.
team.
Exactly. You just proved my point.
How'd they
And look at
win it?
them.
I'm trying
They
to
struggle
think.
to make the playoffs.
Yeah, because even the
Look
Knicks
at the
are
Thunder.
pretty-
They're the best
Knicks,
team in the,
the Knicks
they're
would
the
be a
best team in the
small ball
West.
team.
What did they do? They got bigger. They're gonna get
Two
smaller.
centers.
Yeah, they
Exactly.
are. What about the Knicks? The Knicks are a small ball team.
They have two centers. They have
They have
Cat
two
and
centers, yeah.
Mitchell Robinson.
They don't start them at the same time though. They don't.
But they
start
they
both
always
the
have
centers
one
and
of them.
Tatum.
But they got
always have
size
the
on the
seventh
court at all
corner,
times.
I guess.
You look
There's
at the
no good
Wolves'
team-
success last year. Boom. That's
Try to
I'll
think
give
of
you
a
that.
single team that has actual like championship aspirations. All of them have a good center.
Nuggets.
Not all of them have a good point guard. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, there's
Not all
actually not a lot of good point guards that, like there used to be.
But the Celtics, it also works because all of them are very good passers. They're not too selfish. I don't think.
Well, I mean, besides Jaylen Brown, yeah.
I don't think Jaylen Brown's that selfish on that team.
Yeah, I don't think he's selfish either. He's
Oh, maybe questionable shots. Can I say that instead?
They all take Westbrook.
Yeah, they all. I think that's their system. I think that's just a thing. I think the thought process in their system is if you have to think about it twice, shoot it.
Yeah.
If you have to consider your shot, shoot it.
If the other team thinks that you're not gonna take the shot, it's a good shot.
Yo,
They're not gonna be guarding
the
you.
one-liners in this playoffs have been crazy. Did you guys hear what Joe Mazzulla said about Kristaps? I love to see him bleed.
Yeah, I
on the
love to see
floor.
him.
The one-liners have been going stupid this playoffs,
Listen,
but I'm here for it.
You two, you can cut this part out if you want, but I'm pretty sure Joe Mazzulla's a serial killer. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
I think if we
Pretty
checked his
sure.
basement, we'd find bodies.
Have you ever seen Dexter? I think that's it. I think Dexter's based on a true story.
Yo,
Based
he's
on Joe Mazzulla.
he's my favorite coach. And you know what's crazy? Right under him, I love Udoka's one-liner. You just keep playing. They ain't gonna call it. They ain't gonna call it.
What was that?
They're gonna call everything Udoka. He was talking about them being aggressive to the Warriors.
Just keep
Yo,
playing. They
Udoka-
gonna call everything.
I love Ime, bro. Ime
Crazy. He's right up
gives
there
me
with
the
Joe.
best coach vibes. Like he's just like he's really down for the cause. Like
What's crazy is they had them both together in one place.
I do think
And they were
Udoka's a better
working
coach.
together.
I think
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Celtics
for
would have
sure.
won even with Udoka.
Yeah,
for sure.
That was
Yeah.
coming. That was
Bro,
we all knew that.
Bro, we're still on the Celtics, right? Yeah, we're still on the Celtics. Perfect, bro. That year that Ime Udoka, the year before he got fired, the Celtics were complete hot ass. Didn't
Yeah.
you remember that?
Yeah.
They started the season like nobody would have ever anticipated, and
Yeah.
this was not something that people said, "Oh, the Celtics gonna be bad this year."
Wasn't that the year they
No.
went? The year before they went to the Eastern
That's the year they went to
Conference
the before they went to the finals. That was the year
Okay.
before they went to the finals. They went to the finals with Mazzulla, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they lost.
No, they went to
No,
the
they went to
finals
the finals
with
with
Ime, and they won with Mazzulla.
They won the next year, right? Right next year, right?
2 years after.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
2 years after. Yeah, they were.
yeah. 24 was
2022 was versus the Warriors. 2023 was the Nuggets versus the
You're right. You're right. And they won
the Heat, and then 2024 was the
Yeah,
Celtics.
yeah,
again.
you're right. You're right.
2023 is when Mazzulla took over for the first time.
Gotcha.
But that 2022 year, they went to the finals with Ime, and that team was complete hot ass. They started the first up until February or January. They were terrible, and Ime literally just flipped the switch and said, "I cannot be a nice guy with these people anymore," and turned into the Ime that he is today.
Yeah.
And that team just out of nowhere just roller coastered through the entire league.
And he's
Went to the
always been
finals.
like that, even as a player. Because if you guys,
I think because he was new, he was just
Yeah.
not comfortable with like
Being a dickhead.
I don't know if these guys are ready for this. You know what I mean?
That's what
But
they
like the
needed.
way we're playing, like I got no other choice. I'm just
and,
at the.
and that's why the Rockets are playing so good as well. is
100%.
That
because-
is
100%.
because you can see that they listen to him. You can see that they
Yeah,
play as a
100%.
unit now. Before they were chucking up shots. Before
Yeah.
they got Udoka, Jalen Green was a genuine vibe terrorist. He would come in and play the worst basketball I've ever seen in my life.
I've always said this to people, bro. If your coach looks like he can beat your ass, you're gonna play good basketball.
Oh, for sure.
get beat up.
100%.
Like the guy from
Right.
the
I'm
high
not
school
getting
basketball
embarrassed.
thing.
Yes,
bro, I
bro.
was scared of him. Like until he hopped out his coaching character. He's a cool guy, but he
Yes, bro.
scared me. He's real genuinely scared. I thought I was gonna do suicides that night.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let a grown man beat me up. I don't like that. I went to high school. I don't want to go through that again.
No, facts, bro. That's what I tell people all the time, bro. And that's what a lot of these great coaches, bro, bro, they have that anger to them.
Intimidating.
Like you look at
JJ
Eric
has
Spoelstra, bro. Like he's just constantly angry, bro. Like just always looking like he just wants
Steve
to kill
Kerr
somebody.
looks like he's
Look at
the
JJ, bro.
beach.
JJ has that.
Yes,
JJ looks
bro.
just like
JJ
that.
has some one-liners
Yes.
too, but his one-liners are literally like, "What the fuck are y'all doing?
Yeah,
Are you
bro.
fucking stupid?
fucking lazy?
Yeah,
Shit."
My 4-year-old girls play better than this.
It's just crazy because he does that with and LeBron's on the court coming off, and he doesn't give a fuck. And it's like he's not saying it to a player; he's saying it like a dad who's mad in the house and no one's done shit, but he doesn't want to take it out on the kids, and he's just slamming shit. He does it like that, and everybody's like, "Oh shit!" Let me get rid of
LeBron
it.
said it, bro. LeBron literally said that at this point, JJ is gonna be who he is. We just gotta take it. We just gotta understand how to take his how to receive his information, and
He's
and
a smart ass dude.
I think that's what the Lakers have done good. They understand how to receive it, and they just they go out there and they figure it out. Like he's over here cussing Rui out consistently. Rui goes out there, plays defense like he's never has before,
Smiling the whole
exactly.
time. He's
Like,
happy.
Like Tyler said, bro, you don't want your coach to beat your ass.
I think some players need that sense of urgency.
I agree,
and
100%.
that's the word I'm going to take from all these coaches that we're talking about. They know how to create a sense of urgency, even when it's a game in the middle of December and no one wants to be there. Joe Mazzulla's the first one there talking about let's make a bleed, let's hurt.
He's got brass knuckles on. He's getting ready to beat the first person who doesn't do
He's
suicides.
doing like the football players do. He's outside with no shirt on, playing basketball with the other coaches.
Cool, he got a pair of
Skis
Daisy
versus
Dukes on,
shirts.
just in the freezing snow.
No
Hooping.
cap. I swear, man. And
He
he's
told Luka to shut the fuck up the other day.
who?
JJ. He literally, and the camera, they caught it. He literally told Luka, he was complaining to the ref and got in his face. He grabbed him by the shoulder and said, Luka, shut the fuck up, and then grabbed him and took him away. I was like, God damn.
Like, I can't believe you saying
Luka
that.
needs that though. Luka needs that.
Well, Luka's going to respect him more because he played with JJ. Keep that in mind. JJ was on the Mavs.
He was big bro. He was his big bro. He was his big bro.
And it helps him.
like
JJ was
that.
actually a good player. He wasn't like
Big bro.
a bum who went into coaching. Like, he was a borderline all-star at times.
Yeah. Did he ever? He was All Star at one time, right?
I hope
No.
not.
No. Never.
No, he wasn't.
He should
Yeah.
not.
But he
have.
definitely had a lot of
Decorated
problem
shooter though, for sure. I think he's definitely a decorated.
One of the
shooter.
best moving shooters I've ever seen ever.
Yeah, he had
Some of
really
the
funny
toughest
way to
shots.
release his shots. Yeah,
He shot
moving
better.
in the air.
Yeah.
Damn near.
Just like how J.R. Smith shot better if you had a hand in his face, he shot better moving.
I think he's the best role-playing shooter of all time. Like, all the shooters that are better than him were stars, like Clay and Dame.
I'd
and
say
Steph.
Kyle Korver and him are tied.
I think
Yeah.
he's better than Kyle Korver. I think he's a better player
nah,
than Kyle
Kyle
Korver.
Korver had better
He admitted
percentages.
it on a podcast.
Yeah, he
LeBron
did, but
podcast.
just JJ did more with his opportunity to shoot.
Fair.
He
JJ
did.
was averaging 18 points per game at one point.
20.
Yeah,
He went up to 20.
but he admitted in the podcast. He said that Kyle was just a hair better of a shooter.
Yeah, he's a better shooter. Yes,
But I
believe.
think-
I think JJ's a better player.
Score wise, I think JJ was better at scoring
Overall,
than
I think
Kyle.
overall JJ's a better player. I think JJ
Yeah.
plays defense better. He's not a defender.
He can handle
but he
the ball.
knows how to play defense. He's a
Yeah.
better ball handler.
He's way
not a
better
passer,
defender.
but he knows how to make a play.
Kyle
when he
Korver
has-
sometimes looks like he's running on stilts. Doesn't look like his legs are real.
Yeah, but Kyle Korver was also the guy who would shoot. I don't know. To be honest, the best
Korver was a
shooter-
better shooter though. Like,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
One of my favorite shooters is James Jones. If you tapped in for real, you know
For
who that
the
is.
Suns, the Heat, the
Yeah,
Cavs.
yeah, man. It was a.
So you tapped in for real. One of my favorite shooters was Dale Ellis.
Ooh.
One of my favorite shooters, King Von.
Oh my God! Let's go with the last.
That's a
team.
clip. That's a real. That's a real right there.
Let's go with the last team or the last
like that?
series of the day. We got the
Keep
Nuggets.
on.
Nuggets versus
Never an all star, by the way.
Clippers.
Clippers. I thought it said Magic. Nuggets versus the Clippers. My favorite series. Clippers are looking like the better team, man.
They really are.
Yeah, bro, because they have Michael Porter Jr. who just forgot how to play basketball. He's sitting on Saturday. They said they took him out for Westbrook. Who does that? You playing bad.
It's just also like the flow of the game, bro. He's just a ball stopper, bro. Like he's just a ball stopper. He's always looking for himself, and when you're trying to beat a team, especially like the Clippers, the only way to beat a good defense, like a really good defense, is to move the ball.
Take good high quality shots.
Exactly, and the defensive rating team they're the best defensive rating team in the league right now.
Nicholas Batum is playing better than Michael Porter Jr. right now.
I believe it.
And
I haven't even
not only
watched
the fourth
games
quarter.
like that.
Every quarter.
I only caught one of
Yeah,
their
every-
games.
Every
but-
year, I feel like they just dwindle down that team more and more, and it's causing Michael Porter Jr. to be less impactful because those passes that he used to get were coming from wide
Wide
open
open.
opportunities
Yeah.
from Jokic, or from those extra passes that the smarter players that were on the team were willing to make. You know what I mean?
Or having other shooters
one year
on
they
the
get
team,
rid of
too.
Bruce Brown. That's a big hit to how your rotation works now.
KCP.
The next year they get rid of KCP. That's a big hit to how your rotation works. Now
Another
Michael Porter
coach.
Jr.'s shots are coming from the first pass or the second pass, when before these players that are on the
The
court are
shot
willing to
clock.
make it the extra
Yeah.
passes. Now his passes are coming from the third, the fourth, which are higher quality shots because the defense is now broken down. Now they're scrambling. Now his shots are coming from the first pass, from the second pass, and then, like you said, it's a ball stopper.
They weren't bad shots before. Now they're really, really bad.
Because they also changed their play style with the new coach, with Adelman. Like, firing your coach 2 weeks before the playoffs start, who would have thought that was a bad
I
idea?
don't think they changed the style, but they might
Not
change
them.
some
No,
of the
they
philosophies.
actually did. They
Really?
genuinely changed play styles.
Yeah,
They
I mean-
don't have as many open threes as they had previously, and that could be because of the personnel, but it's also because of plays that they're
You
running.
guys already know the Jokic sweepstakes will start this summer.
Um,
I don't think he'll ask out, but I think teams will ask about him.
I think it would be crazy
I don't
to.
think so. I don't think it's as crazy as you think.
I don't see Jokic as doing it. Jokic looks pissed, but I think with a new GM, he's going to give it 2 more years. I would
Two,
say.
I
I think if any sweepstakes start this summer, it's going to be Jamal Murray. That might be the sweepstakes we see soon. Jamal Murray.
Is that a sweepstakes? That sounds like a punishment.
It sounds like a team
Nah.
like the Magic might take advantage of that shit.
Yeah, they're going to take care of that, and then
I
they're going to be
hope
like,
they
"Wow, we don't have
freaking
another
don't.
playmaker."
I hope
Shocker.
They don't. I hope they don't. Because that's some
He-
shit that
he-
they would fall to, bro.
He does make a buttload of money, though.
He's making 40-something mil.
He's going to get to 50 something at some point.
I don't think he caps out at 50. I think he's right below it.
He's gonna be. He's gonna
You might be
He
right.
makes 50 a couple of years of his contract.
If he makes 50, he's making it right now then, because he's at. One
I
of the
think
higher
he
parts.
does. That's what I was going to say.
Bro,
I
he
think
makes
he
a
does.
lot of money to make that many points in that. I mean, he had one good game. That second game, I guess he was playing decent defense, but they're too small to guard Kawhi. Their wing defenders are even way too small to guard Kawhi. Kawhi is literally just punishing them on the midi.
It's next season. Actually, this is the last season of his regular pay, where he makes $36 million.
That's
next
regular.
season, $50 million. The season after that, $54 million. The season after that, $59 million. And then finally in 28-29,
Who
when
does he
Jokic is
fit,
probably
though?
dead. He's making $62 million.
Who does he fit?
The Nuggets.
No, but for real, like
That's the issue.
for real, like
No, he does, though. He hasn't been playing like it, but he
He's
does.
also been injured a few times. They got a new
Yeah.
coach again. He's
playing in a G-man white T-shirts, long sleeve, in an NBA game.
Yeah, I really don't like when he does that. That just
looks
makes me mad.
weird.
I don't know how to answer that question, though. Who does he fit? That's a
That's-
good question.
A team that, honestly, he would have fit on the Lakers perfectly because you had a
Wow.
playmaker in LeBron.
Wow.
He would have fit there.
Whole time,
You really have to look for a team that has a playmaker because that's not him. He's a score-first guard.
But I
He's
think
a two.
LeBron wanted to get away from being the primary playmaker
No, I'm saying
at
like
some point.
fit, not like
Yeah, yeah,
longevity.
Yeah, but I don't
with
even
AD.
think.
You mean
Yeah,
Yeah.
with AD? Yeah.
I
guess
could see
yeah.
him doing actually very well with the Heat.
You know,
Tyler
Same.
Hero's not a bad playmaker.
Bam is a pretty decent playmaker, good playmaker for a center, I'd say.
he'd be their intangible like scorer, like kind of like that Terry Rozier role, not off the bench,
But like an
started.
actual basketball player like
Yeah.
Terry Rozier is a
Degenerate gambling addict.
You think so?
Oh god.
Bro, you didn't hear what happened? He's suspended because of he
Oh, they
helped to
actually
place
caught
bets
him?
on himself.
I know that he's been like.
I don't know if they did. I think the Heat are praying to God that they catch him because they want to get him off the team. I don't blame them either.
Another Dion Waiters.
Man.
Hey, Deion Waiters was not that bad.
Yeah, Deion Waiters wasn't.
Yeah, he got suspended because didn't he have drugs in the plane?
Well, yeah,
Whoa,
they didn't want to
he
get him
did?
off the team. He just want to get high.
Wait, what?
He just want to get high. They didn't want to get rid of him.
I didn't know Deion Waiters brought weed on the plane.
Yeah, he was high on the plane
Oh.
and had the weed on.
Oh, okay. Being high on the plane doesn't matter, but having the weed is crazy.
That was when weed was banned.
I'm pretty sure it matters for the Heat. The Heat's
Yeah.
not a regular organization. They
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
care about this.
That's-
It
definitely
matters in
gotta-
general.
They care about the choices you
They
make.
gotta
They were
get rid of that
testing
guy.
for it back then anyway, so they definitely cared.
Yeah, they gotta get rid of that guy though. That guy up in the front office. I think it's time to get rid of Pat though.
No, I don't think so. But
No, Pat.
Oh, Pat Riley.
Pat, he said
Not
Pat.
Spoelstra.
I don't know.
Spoelstra.
I don't know.
Pat
I think they need to
Spoelstra, ladies and
either
gentlemen.
that or he needs to take like a different role in the organization. I
What
don't
has
think they
Pat
need to get rid of him.
done negative? Well, yeah, Pat's he
He's
plays.
chased out every.
Well, he's an
superstar that's
asshole.
played
I'll
there.
say that. But other than that,
He traded
He also
Dwayne
makes.
Wade.
He doesn't make good trade decisions. He's
He
not.
traded Dwayne
He's not hungry when it
Wade.
comes to trades, I guess.
He
Yeah, he's
traded.
not.
He didn't trade Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, he did.
Dwayne Wade signed.
he signed with the Bulls.
It was a trade. I thought it was a signing trade.
No,
he
he
signed with the Bulls.
he went from the Bulls to the
Oh,
Cavs.
he didn't
in the
want to
trade.
pay Dwayne Wade. He did
Yeah.
not pay Dwayne Wade. My
They-
bad. Let me switch that up.
He traded Dwayne Wade.
But you
Wait.
paid Udonis Haslem for 20 years straight.
It's very different contracts.
He made it up. He made it up though. He brought him back. Retired the Heat.
Yeah, whatever. Give him a statue that doesn't look like him either.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
looks like
think-
Kurt
I don't
Angle.
think he designed the statue though, so I don't think the GM is responsible for designing.
I'm blaming
or
him for
buying the
everything.
statue.
How do we know that?
Because
though?
it's not
Right?
You don't think
True,
Pelinka made the
true.
Kobe one?
No, I don't.
They have a good relationship.
But the Clippers, though, let's talk some good stuff about them. Kawhi Leonard had a great performance. He's been up and down, but he has had a good game every single time. Just hasn't had a Kawhi Leonard great game until that
Listen,
game.
Let me
two.
say something about
Warriors.
Kawhi real quick. Have we ever seen a player that could be as injured as miss as many games and then
And then
come back and
playoffs.
like still play like a superstar level?
Bro, that's exactly the point that I was trying to make, bro. That's
Scary.
why I don't give Joel Embiid the benefit of the doubt because that's not fair. If Kawhi Leonard can do it, so can you. I believe in that theory. If Kawhi Leonard can be injured like he is and never play, just like
He's not injured right now. He's
Missed
just
more
healthy.
games than Embiid often.
has missed
He's
more
got that
games than
synthetic
Embiid.
knee, man. He's got that vibranium knee right
But
now.
he shows up when he's healthy and he,
does.
plays like Kawhi
does.
every single
He does.
time.
There's no
Joel
doubt
Embiid
there.
doesn't do that. If Joel Embiid's been injured for a month, he's going to come back and play like Clint Capella.
He's playing Jaleel Okafor.
You know what's crazy, though? I'm going to give you a little insight on my thought process there. The entire time I'm getting that sentence out, in my head, I'm thinking to myself, what's a good center to say? What's a good center to say? And at the last second, Clint Capella keeps on.
Capella is not bad. He was injured, y'all.
Clint Capella's bad. Clint Capella
Capella
is
is
verifiably bad.
He's just old, bro. Come on, man. He's
So-
a good backup center.
Why do you want to torture the Magic?
I don't.
It's like
I
he's
just-
Why
wanted
did you
to be
only
worse.
He's better than their centers that they have right now.
They share your first
Three
name.
centers in old folk homes.
Their first name is Orlando as well.
They need to let me run basketball operations over there. Magic, this is my, you know what I'm saying? I might not show up to work, though.
They're gonna
But,
call the police once you make this
Yeah,
move.
we know a lot about
If they see what you
Oh,
did
that's
here,
a lie.
they're gonna block all of us.
Who?
The Magic. If they see the things you've been saying,
I'm going to tell you what, Magic, you guys need a point guard. I don't know what he's talking about this center shit. I think you guys
who's the
should
point
straight
guard? Give me a
up
point
center.
guard.
I don't know. I have need to see the
Give me one. Give me one. Quick.
Quick.
One,
Curry.
two,
Trey. I would
three.
say
Trey.
Trey.
All right.
Yeah, I would say Trey for Trey. I think Trey Young would fit them perfectly. I think they can hide them on defense, and I think he.
I actually do think so because they have a lot of length.
And they're not going to be a slow team anymore. They'll be way faster, way faster.
One thing we didn't talk about earlier, I guess. Never mind. We're gonna talk about
Yo,
awards.
Kobe was ripped that year.
What are we gonna talk about
Jeez.
next?
I was gonna talk about awards. The
yeah.
awards that have been out so far.
Yeah, you might
Defensive
as well.
Player of the Year.
Shit.
That is next. Look at that. Perfect segue. I was just preparing the screen for me right there.
There's only 2 awards out though.
No, a couple of them have come out. A few of these have come out already. But
Draymond got
let's go
snubbed.
through it right now. Let's go from the bottom. It seems like they're ordered relatively similar importance order for the most part. But we got Teammate of the Year. That one has not been announced just yet for NBA award race. Where's my? Oh, there you go. I don't believe that one's been announced. Let me click it just in case. No, that one has not been announced just yet. We got Sportsmanship, Walter Kennedy, Executive of the Year, Coach of the Year, Finals
Only 2 have been
MVP,
out.
Rookie.
Defensive Player of the Year and Rookie.
No, we got Sixth Man of the Year was Peyton Pritchard won that. Defensive Player of the Year was won by Evan Mobley. Clutch Player of the Year was won by Jalen Brunson. Hustle Award was given to Draymond Green.
I agree with all these.
And I believe that's the last one. I think that's the
I
last
didn't know
one
they
that
had
was
a
announced.
hustle award.
We got the Most Improved Award, which is, does anyone remember who it's Dyson Daniels, Kate Cunningham, and Zubac.
Okay. Yeah, you know Dyson Daniels was second in Defensive Player of the Year voting?
Yeah, he was top 3. Yeah, I know that. I didn't know he was second.
Yeah, I didn't know he was higher over Draymond. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought Draymond was going to win it, to be
Dyson
honest.
Daniels had a crazy season.
Who y'all
Yeah.
got for most improved though between those 3? I got Cade between those 3.
Cade.
Probably Cade, but I don't think it should be Cade. I think Dyson Daniels should be it.
Yeah, I can respect that. But I personally would vote Cade. Then we
Vote the
got
whole team.
Rookie of the Year. You said Rookie of the Year was announced already?
Yeah, Stefan Castle.
He deserved that. I think
Really?
we all
I didn't know
decided
that. Where did you see that? It doesn't say it on here.
I don't know if it's out. Maybe I saw the numbers, but Stefan Castle's leading the voting.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about to say because it's not on here. And
He's-
the other
he's
ones are updated. on
Going
here.
to win it. If not, I'll check.
That's dope for him, though. Of course, Finals MVP has not been decided. Coach of the Year also has not been decided, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure. Yeah, coach of the year has not been decided.
Who would you give that to?
I believe I saw it was
It was
Kenny Atkinson,
right. Which I think he
Ime
should win.
Udoka, and
Had to be a new coach. I think it was JJ Redick.
I think it was the Pistons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was the
JB
Pistons.
Bickerstaff.
Yeah,
I believe it was the
I'm
Pistons.
surprised JJ Redick wasn't mentioned at all.
Yeah, he deserves recognition, but I think the three that were chosen, rightfully so.
Switched the whole
I think
franchise
JJ
around.
will get it next year because they're going to be more complete.
Yeah.
But I'd give it to. I don't know, man.
I like
to
Detroit's.
Ime.
I think
Bickerstaff,
Detroit's
man.
team should get it. Yeah.
Ime or Bickerstaff, I think, are both worthy of
Yeah,
it.
Bickerstaff. It's like the turnaround that they made is out of this world, bro.
Crazy
From the worst team in the
hypothetical
league to not even. No, they did get 60. But either way, that's not even playing. You know what I mean? Like a set playoff spot after breaking the record for most consecutive losses.
Bro, they
a
won
year ago.
14 games last season.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Like my vote is Bickerstaff. I believe Ime deserves
is
it
mine.
as well.
I'd go Ime because while JB did a lot for the Pistons, and I do think he's also worthy, he'd be my number 2. The Rockets were also a really bad team last season.
Not
And-
as bad though. Like the Pistons were.
No,
a
but
different level.
now the Rockets they're a 2 seed.
Yeah, they're beating the
Yeah,
Warriors.
so that's pretty crazy. They're what 54 wins this season, I think. Both of those, that sucks. I wish this year that we could do coach of the year like we've done before. I would actually give it to both.
They might. I mean, I think it should honestly, and I hate to say, I think within the collective of those 3 coaches, they all did something impressive.
Because JV was a coach of the Cavs last year, and they weren't that great, and they are the number 1 seed in the East.
Yeah, and they're
That
definitely.
sucks, man.
Yeah.
One of them's not going to win.
And then on top of that,
Detroit's whole franchise, the whole aura of that team has switched.
They have like a play style now. They
Yeah.
have like I forgot what word it
The
is.
same thing as the Rockets. An identity.
An identity. Identity.
Even the Rockets, an identity.
like they both those 3 teams now have an identity. That they did not have one last year. Even
No.
with the Cavs winning all those games, we didn't think the Cavs were. They had something.
Their Cavs' identity now is tenacity.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
talking shit. It's in your face.
and it's
like
just
yeah.
offense at all times. Just
we're
wasn't-
constantly firing.
Yeah, and it's good shots, not bad shots. They're all really great, high quality, high potent offense.
Great
So I
at
mean,
best looks.
if they could give it a 3-way, that would be really dope. I think they all 3 did something very impressive. But when it comes down to like,
Well, I mean that's the case every year. Though.
yeah,
You like all 3 of them in a 3-way?
I would not petition for that, but
Like all 3?
Oh my god.
All 3 of those men?
nope, you got me. You got me.
Crazy.
You got me. You got me. But JB Bickerstaff, though, I think to me makes the most sense. You took a team that won 14 games to now taking the Knicks to at least a game 7, maybe.
They
a
won
game
30
6.
more games
Yeah.
in one season.
And-
And they didn't have that many additions.
That's one of the biggest turnarounds, one of the bigger turnarounds in NBA history when it comes to like a franchise. So like, I honestly got to give it to them without a superstar, like a super bona fide superstar, without time put in there. Like this was my first year there. You got to look at all the requirements and not requirements, but you can see the things that he went through to come out on top. And when I say on top of playoff team. An identity, it's JB, and I just talk myself into that damn self too.
Shout out Justin Bieber.
Then we got the MVP, of course, hasn't been announced either. 2 players that have been in the MVP race every single year for the last 5
They've
years.
been head to head, right?
If you had one more person, Jason Tatum, you have the last 3 MVP candidates.
Yeah, and we got Giannis and Jokic once again in the top 3 finalists for MVP. Seems like a recurring thing for them. 2 best players in the league, in my opinion. But then, of course, we got Shea, new to the fold. The favorite to win MVP, rightfully so, phenomenal season. My pick is Jokic. What about you guys?
My pick has been Shea since before the season started. He went from being the 4th best point guard in the league to leading the Thunder into arguably what is the best season that they've seen in a long time.
They had last year.
I really do mean it though. Like the things that he's doing as a guard is unheard of, and when you look at his stats, they don't really tell the full story because we know his defensive impact as well. He is a 2-way player, and I think he's one of the best guard defenders. I don't think he is the best. I think Drew Holiday, Dyson Daniels, they take it over, but I think he'd easily be in the top 10 if we really looked at it.
Possible. I'd like to have that debate one week.
I think Anthony
but,
Edwards has to beat out a little bit, just a little bit.
I don't think Anthony Edwards is a better defender than Shea. I do not think so.
I think we could definitely open that door one day. But I think Shea deserves it. I have no objections.
I wouldn't be upset. Any of the 3-1, I would not be upset.
Yeah, I think what Jokic is doing. Well, if Giannis gets it over them, then I'd be upset.
Yeah,
But,
Giannis would be weird. That would be a weird one.
Giannis does deserve it. He has a phenomenal season as well.
And
I
Lillard has
don't
also
think
been
he
injured.
compares. Yeah, I don't think he
Yeah.
compares to what Jokic and Shea are doing.
Honestly, I think
Damn, that is tough to say.
Why, though?
He does.
Like,
yeah.
media-
I take it back.
He's having one of the best
Nah,
seasons.
don't take it back. I got you.
No, he-
the
no.
media-
Giannis having one of the best seasons of his career right now.
Yeah, he is. He's having seasons just like that.
Oh no, I was going to talk about how the media almost had me full on Shea. I think this was a very big media push Shea year. I think he's having a great season. I think he's had seasons like this before, but I think when you got to look
No,
at
he's never had a season like this before.
well, I'm saying within the likeness of it, but I'm saying I more so. I think Jokic, constant team changes, losing players that were not cornerstone players, but impactful players, and still playing at that high rate. You got Russell Westbrook playing well. You got a team full of like not nobodies, but it's not the same organization it was, and you're still putting up the same numbers, even better. I gotta give it to him in a way, in a sense, man. Like he's just getting adversity. He does not care about adversity. He's just chugging along. And I love Shea. I really love Shea. But Shea has not faced what he's faced. I think when it comes to like the personnel and losing your coach, I don't think he's faced what he's faced.
No, but I think Shea is without a doubt the leader of this team. I think
For sure.
I think the tenacity that they have on the offensive and defensive side comes from Shea. And I just like the Nuggets, I don't think the Thunder are the Thunder without Shea. There's a chance that they might not make the playoffs without Shea. He is kind of the cog that makes that team run.
Yeah, I think that's probably the case for most MVPs.
But I would say the Nuggets would be pretty bad without Jokic.
Oh yeah, they'd be horrendous. But yeah, I think all three of them are very deserving. I think the seasons that they put together are phenomenal. I think Shea's production leading to the best team in the West is what's going to hold the most weight there in that conversation. But a triple double for Jokic, that is a big deal. First center in NBA history to get a triple double. But we'll see. I think Shea will win. My vote is going to stay Jokic, but I don't believe he'll get robbed. I think that is the rightful winner if Shea does win.
One thing I will say, nobody really talks about Giannis at all anymore, and I really think you should.
Keep in mind, for the last 5 years, I'm pretty sure Giannis is averaging 13, 11, and 6.
I think when you see Batman, it's cool, but when you see Superman fly over your head, you're like, what the fuck?
But
And I think that's what's
Giannis,
going on
Giannis
right
does,
now.
Giannis does that
Because we know that Giannis
he's also a defensive player. So offensively, he's averaging 35, 11, and 6, one of the best mid-range shooters in the league.
which is weird. I will say that.
And we know that he's playing one of the best defenses.
Yeah, I get it. But like I said,
I think we just got tired of it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you see Batman, he's a normal guy just like you. Not saying that in the sense that he's a normal guy, like because he's 6'10", he can rebound the ball, he pushes the ball with the court. 6'11", my bad. But when you have Jokic averaging a triple double, it's just hard to like. It's kind of like he gets put into like this place of like, oh, he's done that before. Kind of like LeBron did, where LeBron got put in that space where he's like, oh, he's done that before.
That's
He's
what's
been
happening to
there before.
Jokic. People are getting tired of voter
Yeah,
fatigue.
for sure, voter fatigue, and that's why a lot of people. That's why that sucks. A lot of players don't get their fifth, or like LeBron should have at least 6 MVPs, at least.
I would say
The
so.
fact that he has 4 is insane to me, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I agree. I think Giannis definitely needs to be talked about more. The overseas players, are taking over the league. Even though Shea is not overseas per se, but foreign-born players are taking over.
He's
the league.
over AC, Lake Michigan.
You look at the top 5 players in the league. I know Luka's had a slow season because of the injury and all that, but in most cases, he is a top 5 player in the league. Of course, Jokic, Shea, Giannis.
Jason
and
Tatum's
that
the only
fifth-
one that's not.
Yeah, that
actually.
fifth spot is all preference at that point. But I petition for Jason Tatum to be the 5th best player in the league. But speaking of, that actually brings me to my last topic of the day. It seems to be working the opposite direction overseas. A lot of American-born players
Are
actually
hooping.
taking over the EuroLeague right now.
Well, they took our jobs, so we had to go somewhere
right.
else. They took our
That's
jobs.
crazy. They took our jobs, so we went over there to take their jobs. We'll kind of breeze through a little bit, and if you guys have anything of interest to say about it, feel free to. But a lot of American-born players are going crazy in the EuroLeague, and it's a basketball podcast. We got to make sure we talk about basketball all around the world. Some examples: Kendrick Nunn. Y'all remember Kendrick Nunn?
Unfortunately,
Us Lakers fans remember him very
the
dearly.
Heat legend, the
Right up
Lakers
there with Gabe
nightmare.
Vincent.
Yep. Kendrick Nunn, however, has definitely turned it around for his career. He is not only the highest paid player in the EuroLeague right now, he is also the reigning and now just won the MVP. Just won the MVP
that
for the
shit's
EuroLeague.
crazy.
So shout out to him. He's taking off over there, making a new narrative for himself, making a brand new career out of it after, kind of getting washed out of the NBA for unfortunate performances on the Lakers. Rightfully so.
He deserves it. That man's an abuser. I don't care.
A name that you guys may be familiar with, maybe not. If you're not a real hoop fan for real. But Carson Edwards, you remember Carson Edwards?
The short one?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
haven't
He
seen him in a
didn't
while.
have a lengthy career in the NBA by any means.
didn't have a lengthy
but
height
he has
either.
made a career out of himself in the EuroLeague. Currently holds the record for most points in a single quarter. Just broke that record a couple days ago, actually. Popped up on my feed. I figured he deserves some acknowledgement. Then we got Mike James. Everybody knows Mike James at this point. He is an overseas EuroLeague player, but he's
a Euro legend though too.
He's a Euro legend. He's made himself a huge name over there in the EuroLeague. He's been there for years. He is a EuroLeague player. Some of these other guys maybe more recognized as NBA players who transitioned to the EuroLeague. He's a EuroLeague player. He had his stints in the NBA, but never really.
At this point, he's European.
Yeah, never really flourished. But still, an American-born player. He's actually the all-time leading scorer in EuroLeague history. He's going crazy over there for sure. And then we got a player who I'm not very familiar with, but his name popped up in my feed as well. Nigel Hayes-Davis holds the record for most points in a EuroLeague game. For those of you who are EuroLeague fans, I want to be clear and say this is ever since the EuroLeague basketball committee took over the EuroLeague. The EuroLeague has been around for decades, but under this new regime, things kind of got restarted, I guess you could say. So, for you EuroLeague fans, he doesn't actually have the record, but by their standards, he does, because it's a new. I don't know how to explain it. It's a new thing.
It's like the NBA and the ABA.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a merger almost.
Similar to that concept. Now, the ABA records just aren't really acknowledged because of that.
Next guy I do know because he's from Orlando.
Yeah, Shane Larkin holds a second
legend.
place record
Dr.
for most
Phillips
points
legend.
in a single game, 49. So he was just 1 point shy. Nigel Hayes, if I'm not mistaken, what did he? Yeah, he broke the record this year, I believe. Yeah, Nigel Hayes broke the record this year, and Shane Larkin had the record previously. I think he broke it in 2019. I want to say. I could be off there. Y'all EuroLeague fans, let me know if I'm wrong. But Shane Larkin actually plays for my favorite EuroLeague team, Anadolu Efes, which is a team from Turkey. My mom lives in Turkey.
Your mom lives in Turkey?
Not anymore. She didn't move back,
That's
but
cool.
she did for a few
here?
years. Yeah, she's in Puerto Rico now, but she did live in Turkey for a few years. So when I was exploring some,
So random.
yeah, that's a story for another day. But
I got questions after
It's
the
actually
pod.
even more random.
yeah, it is. But when I was exploring EuroLeague teams to support, there were two Turkish teams, and Anadolu Efes was the most interesting to me. They have Shane Larkin, and I want to say we signed Stanley Johnson recently. I want to say I could be wrong though. He signed
the
with
Manimals?
somebody. No, that's
Nah,
Kenneth
Manimal,
Fareed.
that's
Oh wait,
Fareed,
yeah, the Stanimal.
Stanley Johnson from the Pistons.
Yeah, I remember the Lakers picked him up and thought he was the truth.
Yeah, he did not work out for the Lakers either.
He had a good little run with them, though. He was playing good defense and shit with them.
Yeah, he had some good games where he was playing good defense, but he was never anything that I really cared about. But he's not a part of the conversation today. The point is Shane Larkin, second most points in EuroLeague history in a single game. So I just wanted to set some light on the EuroLeague players, American-born EuroLeague players. Like Tyler said, they took our jobs over here, so we got to take theirs over there.
Like Americans.
Y'all let us know,
Hell of
man,
an episode.
who's your favorite EuroLeague team? I've been watching games more often.
Real
I
Madrid.
specifically only watch EuroLeague. I don't watch their individual leagues just because it's just too many games to keep up with, too many different leagues.
I
to pay
wish,
attention
yeah, that's
to.
what I said. I wish their leagues were a lot more cleaner to the eye, like to where I'm not trying to figure out who's playing where, what team's playing what. Like, I don't care about the divisions. I could understand having like age divisions.
It just works like soccer. You watch soccer?
Yeah, no, it's like different divisions: Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. It's just I wish they would have a premier Division 1, kind of like how soccer does, where they have like that.
You'd like
premier league.
Eurobasket.
They do.
I know, I definitely would. I
They do
love,
when
I
they do
love
the
Olympic
cup.
basketball.
They do. That's how it
anyways.
works. Overseas teams, they have like their B tier leagues and their C tier leagues, and then they have their A tier leagues, which is the main
Like
leagues that are.
Do they run it
competing.
like the soccer, where like you can like by points and wins, or how do they run it?
They have, I forget the total amount of teams, but they have teams that they invite, and typically it's always going to be the same teams every year, just because they're the most prestigious teams. And then there are a few wild card spots available for the EuroLeague. The EuroLeague is essentially like a tournament style league where it's like the best European teams get together to play for the EuroLeague Cup, essentially. But
Is that? I think that's Eurobasket. I thought EuroLeague is the one before where they go into Eurobasket.
the Eurobasket is a tournament. EuroLeague
Okay.
is a league.
I don't know anything.
Yeah,
about this?
Eurobasket is a tournament. EuroLeague is an actual league itself.
Any players that know me or Nas or even Tyler, if you ever want to come on this podcast and talk to us about European basketball and give us some game, any of my old friends who I know from the past who I played basketball who ended up playing overseas, we would love that. You could decipher it for us, teach us something that we don't know, and also shed light on how it's like
It's
to be
more
a basketball
intense.
player.
It's way
'Cause
more intense.
I got a lot of friends who played overseas. I just never tapped in the way Nas is right now with the different leagues and stuff. So definitely
Yeah,
it's
they have,
different.
every country has their own set of leagues. The United States is the only country that does it. The NBA is a monopoly. They run basketball. These other leagues that exist, they can't. In some cases, can't even legally call themselves professional basketball leagues. Like that's how much power the NBA holds here in the United
Because
States.
we used to be like we had the ABA, we had the NBA, like we had.
We got the TBL. We have
Yeah.
so many things.
That's why Ice Cube had to start doing his stuff in the summer around
Yeah.
the time the women NBA were playing and stuff, just because of the simple fact of like viewership and how the NBA does not. The NBA will monopolize. They are a monopoly.
Yeah, they're a
And I hate to
monopoly
say
for
that.
sure.
And I hate to say
They're
that.
starting their own European league soon. That's their plan.
That's
They're-
crazy.
They've already started.
Don't
the
they have an
process.
African league, too?
It's different though. They're starting their own NBA in Europe.
Yeah, it's gonna be like crazy, like it is out here, pretty much.
Like I think they're trying to compete with the EuroLeague. Like that's
Yeah.
how they're trying to.
They're not
I don't
trying
think
to-
they'll do that though. I don't think they'll be successful.
Sleep. This is the NBA, bro. If anybody has it down pat, it's them.
The Euro, it's a very common misconception. The EuroLeague to them is what the NBA is to us. The EuroLeague is that big over there. Like,
They
Yeah, no,
they
I get
love
it's a
that.
matter of competition. The EuroLeague will watch them over
Yeah.
there.
They have loyalty.
They have too much. The EuroLeague is a monopoly over there. How the NBA is a monopoly over here.
So they handle it the
control
same way.
basketball. Everything
Okay.
that happens over there goes through them. Everything literally the EuroLeague controls overseas
So are we gonna
basketball.
start beefing with the EuroLeague? Is the NBA?
We already are, bro.
That's what they're trying to do, basically.
Yeah, fuck Germany.
Man,
They're trying.
I'm German,
They're
I
trying
can
to.
say
Set,
that.
they're trying to set their, their flag over there. Like they're trying to take over there.
that's crazy work though by the NBA.
And they started with the African League, and they're working their way up. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting how that works out.
Shout out to J. Cole.
How many players really come up in that situation? But as of right now, the EuroLeague is the monopoly over there. It's complicated to explain.
But like
yeah.
the reason why I don't think they're gonna fail is because most of their players want to come over here. So when most of your players want to come over
No,
here,
I don't
they're
think
gonna-
most.
You don't think
Very,
so?
it's very few that do.
It's
Yeah,
got to be like
very
those
few.
generational talented players, huh?
It's literally it's only the generational talents, but most people stay over there.
Yeah, there's thousands of EuroLeague tier
Like,
one.
I think there's
Ten
more ways of
thousands.
getting paid out there than there is out here in the leagues year round.
They actually make good money there.
Yeah.
They'll make more here, but they do not make bad money there.
No, not for the living situations. I mean,
Yeah.
I think $20 an hour here is different than.
And shit, I'd rather live in Croatia than Memphis. I'll tell you what.
That's crazy. That's a
I
crazy
think some
take.
people rather live in. Let me not. I was
Go-
gonna say a
let me hear it.
crazy ass joke.
I'd rather live in Guatemala than fucking North Dakota. What the hell's in North Dakota? I would. Well, no.
All right,
Explain that joke to us. Go ahead.
it looks like this is the perfect time to wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already, I'm disappointed in you. But make up for it and hit that subscribe button. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. We apologize that we couldn't go live today. We're going to fix whatever issues we're having and figure it out for next time. We got to give y'all a live episode soon. Maybe we'll go live remotely as well. No,
think we
I
might
have
do
been
that.
trying to convince him
Yeah.
to do that. But listen, let's just move on. We'll get it right next time. Subscribe, like, comment, do all that good stuff. Help us grow. We appreciate y'all. We're going to Hoop Talk next week.
Yes,
Hoop
sir.
Talk out. Deuces.
Do say.
Yes, sir.